Well, hello. That works surprisingly well. Welcome back, everybody. So I've got some good news, which is that the Stream Deck, hold on here just one second. There we go. The Stream Deck is all set up now, and I'm pretty excited about that. So now I can have some different camera angles and switch some buttons and do all that stuff. So this is just great. Finally, I don't have to worry about that stupid keyboard or the daggone plugin that was eating all the memory. I've got buttons. I'm excited. Okay, I'm looking at this one now. Yeah, this one. All right, so tonight what we're working on is getting Dash payments set up. So this is part 3 in this series, if I'm counting correctly. And the problem before was that we couldn't. Well, there's an easy path that's on dash.org. They're kind of, sort of, in a way, is on dash.org. That seems anyway. That you go to the developer documentation, it's not the right documentation. And anyway, so we're going to set up a full node, and the idea is that if we get the full node set up, then we can get notifications. Basically, as block transactions come in, we'll get notifications on this server, and so we'll cache the ones that we're interested in. We will reach out to indexed servers for ones that might have happened in the past, and we should be able to get webhooks as they happen. So I kind of said that in the wrong order, but the purpose of getting this set up, fingers crossed, is so that we can get a webhook. We can say, hey, I want to know when something happens with this address, tell me, and then we'll be able to parse that information out. That's kind of the goal. So with that said, let's see. First, let's have a word from our sponsor, but not really our sponsor, Mr. Mountain Dew, which is that word's going to be open focus. There we are. Mm. Mm. I want you to see this in full frontal glory. Mm. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm just goofing off with the camera, but it's okay. It's okay. It's good for all of us, right? Okay, so other thing. Oh, I need to get the chat open. Okay, now the chat's open. Let's see. Who do I need to say hello to? Oh, all of you. Huh. Hello, all of you. I'm sure Ryan's one. Who are the others? Go ahead and let me know. Tell me what brings you to the channel tonight. And also, I'll go ahead and give you a link to Discord. So if there is anything interesting, for some reason you cannot post it on YouTube because of blocks or whatever, because the blocks are pretty restrictive because of the bots. Here's the Discord link. There we go. And with that all out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and dig in. So clap, cut, edit, mark, whatever. Also, now, yeah, we've got some assistance for the channel. Assistance being singular, as in the assistance, the thing, not assistance as in multiple people. Well, maybe we have we'll see. But we're getting some stuff for the channel here to get some time codes and things like that. Anyway, so what I need to do, if I remember correctly, well, I should probably go look at some documentation first, but I'm going to need to set up a full node is basically the route that we're going to go. So I'm going to go through this. Hey, what's up, Bicall? How you doing? Is it Bicall, right? Let me know how to pronounce that. So first, what I want to do is see, there was something about partners, and I just want to take a look at that again. Is it providers and tools? So basically the services that these provide, I think one of them specifically says webhooks. Webhooks? No? I was pretty sure one of them specifically said webhooks. But basically, the problem with these is that in terms of if you want to get efficiency, you're going to pay about $20 a month or so to host a node for yourself because of disk costs and just, you got to have it running all the time. But you don't get much cheaper with any of these guys. So I think I'm just going to go with the setting up the node. I mean, I did look at some of these and whatnot, but I'm not, I can't speak for all of them, but I think that was kind of the problem that I was running into. So we're going to need to set up a node for ourselves. And I created, a few years ago, I created the documentation, which is still ranking quite highly, set up a full Dash node. So it looks like this documentation is from 2014. This is from 2020. And this is, I don't know when this was from, probably 2014 or so. And, oh yeah, look at that. So I think I'm going to go through my own instructions because I'll probably understand them pretty well. But I do kind of want to see all nodes, dash platform. Now, remind me, Ryan, is dash, I'm so confused. What is dash platform? Is that different from dash core? Is that the same as dash evo? Should I read that? Because I kind of want to look up the new documentation before I just dive into the old stuff, since it's going to be outdated and things are going to be wrong. Let me see. Masternode with dash platform services. This may be entirely the wrong thing that I don't want to do. So if you want to point me in the right direction on that, that would be great. Okay, commercial masternode hosting services are available. Let's see. 1,000 dash. That's quite a bit of. Yeah, I don't think this is not for me. That's not the right thing. I am not going to be doing that anytime soon. That's a lot of dash there. Your lives are super late for me in my new time zone. I'll be here for a while only. And as always, a real pleasure to get to see you coding. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you for that, Josue. All right. Okay, so these links don't look like the right links. I don't think I want a master node. I think I just want a full node, if I remember correctly. How to set up a dash master node on all nodes. Yeah, full node. That's what I was calling it. Is there a new, plain node, not a master node? Is that the new thing? Okay, host a dash node. Understanding master nodes. I don't want to do master nodes. I want to do, because a master node is if you're a stakeholder. So dash is on proof of stake. So if you didn't check out the great blockchain debate that we had the other day, check that out if you're interested, because it was good. And I'm actually going to re-listen to it, because since I was hosting and managing stream and all this other stuff, there's a couple parts that I missed that I want to listen to again because it was so good. But it turns out that all of the important cryptocurrency / blockchain Web3 platforms have basically moved away from the foundations of the proof of work stuff Bitcoin was built on. It's a different world now. And so you got to give them credit for that where credit's due. But this one right here, I'm going to put a link in the chat real quick. Let's see, copy link address. So this is going to be, and then we're going to do a follow-up. And the thing that I'm happy to see is, I said this way back at the beginning, because people used to shift the goalpost all the time, because they talk about, true, pure decentralization, this and that. And then, so whenever you talk to somebody about something, you say, well, there's a problem with this. They say, well, that's just proof of work. But if you do proof of stake, and then if you're talking about proof of stake, then there's trade-offs with all these things. But I think what things are tending towards, what Web3 is tending towards, they are doing basically all of the complaints that I had about this is all stupid, and if you did it this way, then this would be smart and it could be efficient and work well. It sounds like that's the way that Web3 stuff is going in terms of the technology. Now, if it solves the problem, I'm still not convinced that there's a problem that needs solving with it all. But, well, except, I think what Dash is doing is actually pretty great. But in terms of the technology is becoming efficient and less about hypothetical game theory and more about real. Okay, dash core node. This is so confusing. Dash evo dash core node. I think this is the documentation that I should be looking at before I go back to my old ways. But anyway, so the technology of the Web3 stuff seems like it's going in the right direction of what is efficient and more traditional technology. But yeah, I'm not clear on if it actually solves an important problem or not, because I just haven't had that explained to me in a way that I'm sure about yet. Okay. Full dash node for application services with Node.js. Node is extensible, can be configured to run additional services. So basically we want to figure out how to add webhooks. At a minimum, the node has to interface with -d for more advanced address queries. Additional service can be enabled to make the node more useful. So I think exposing the APIs, if we're running our own node, I don't think that we need to reach out to the block explorer because we'll already have that information. I mean, assuming, because it's going to have some cost in terms of disk space. You're basically duplicating the blockchain and then indexing it in a completely different way based on the addresses that you're and IDs that you're interested in rather than chronological fashion. So it might still be cheaper both in terms of development cost and runtime cost to not do that, but that ideally that's what we would have. All right. And feel free to ask me questions because I've got some history on this because I've got some history on this, I'm not coming in this completely cold. There's things that I'm not going to explain well or whatnot. So please ask questions. And as always, feel free to go off topic as well. So when running the start command, it will seek for a dash core folder. Yeah. Okay. Plugins inside API. Yeah. Okay, cool. This looks like it might be a lot simpler than it used to be. You might also want to add these index to your dash.com file. That does. Oh, okay. So we want to index things. We want to make it faster to access this information. As a library, this is how we use it. Scaffold start. That seems a little bit. Okay. Dash D, Node.js. Okay. So it looks like this hasn't been updated in a long time because they only need V8. And I think we're on V16 now. So that's good, actually. I think this is still the same. Everything. So, okay, this is not actually what I need because this doesn't, okay, this does take me to the place I need to go. So I need to get dash D. I need to get node. So what I'm going to do is the same thing I did before. In fact, let me go and see. I probably put a link to some documentation here. Install script, full article, how to install dash insight API. I'm not going to do that right now. All right. Let me check comments here. Proof of steak now. Yeah, steak. Yum, yum, yum. Barbecue, please. Of course. What are you trying to do with Dash, and how do you feel about Chainlink? I don't know anything about Chainlink. Hold on. Oh. When I haven't had enough sleep, I start to sneeze a lot, especially when, this is what's when I'm relying on this to keep me alive, I sneeze a lot. All right. What are you trying to do from a tech perspective, not a gambling one? Nice. GitHub-evo -core node. So Josue, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm actually right there. So if you take a look at this, this is where I am. But I need to go. Okay. So this is where I'm at right now. So yes, I'm there. But I need to get dash D. Okay, so let me answer that question. What do I want to do with dash? All right. So here's the thing. Let's actually, there we go. So here's the thing. There is a niche within the dash community because there are people in dash community. Let me show you this again. Go back over here. Whoops. So let's look at dash.org for a second. Let me tell you what the value prop is. Well, there's two things. One, this is commissioned work. Okay. So that interests me. I like making money. But I do have an honest interest in, you always need, for every product, you need to find a niche. You need to carve out your niche. And I think that what Dash Incubator is trying to do and what I'm trying to do, there's a certain overlap that can work well. So look at what this website says. Your money, your way, ready to start making everyday purchases with digital cash. Dash Direct makes it fast and easy. Learn about our Dash Direct mobile app. Buy Dash. Instant, global, easy to use. Dash Wallet. Mobile, desktop, take your pick. Oh no! Oh no, they updated the website. It used to not have any reference to blockchain or cryptocurrency on the website. Dang it. Oh no. That's too bad. Now they've lost a few points. Because the website, what I was going to point out is the website is entirely focused on the consumer and merchant experience of how to transact digital cash. So they disproved my point by now adding up towards the top this thing that wasn't there before, which, but whatever. So there are people in the Dash community that want to promote people who accept Dash. So if you are starting a new product that doesn't have a lot of user base, just by integrating with Dash, you kind of get some free marketing. And since the tools that I'm creating are kind of Web 3-ish, they're not really Web 3, but they're Web 3-ish. They're about privacy, they're about decentralization. So things like telebit.io, right? So here's my telebit.io. This is a tool that is designed for that purpose. What I'm doing with the root company. So if we go look at Hub, this is for that purpose. So there's some overlap in the community. So for me, it makes sense that I actually do want to accept Dash on my website because it's going to bring in users. When I start accepting payments for Telebit, I'm going to be bringing in users that are more closely aligned. So that's where my personal interest lies. So I feel like that's a pretty good question for me to be answering for you, and hopefully for the people that are in on the Dash community watching this as well, to kind of see, why is this dude doing this? But I'm not going to lie. Number one is that I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't commissioned. I will. That's just being honest, because I would be continuing on with the PayPal stuff and whatnot. I might get around to it eventually, but being commissioned to do it, yeah, I'm not going to say no to that, and I don't hate it like I do with many of the other. I consider a lot of the other stuff in the ecosystem scams. I don't think Dash is a scam. I honestly don't. Okay, so web, development environment, bus. Bus might be something I need. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can read this really carefully. Upgrade notes, services, bus. But before I go, part of me just wants to go get the master node up. I mean, not the master node, the full node up with the documentation I created before. But I do just want to kind of see what the state of things are at. Oh, bless me. Okay, open bus. I don't think subscribe. Raw transaction. Okay, so this hasn't, documentation here. This is just straight from the Bitcoin fork. This hasn't been updated since. Okay. But this might be exactly the thing that I need. I want to subscribe to transactions. Now, I don't know how I get a specific transaction, but this would be exactly what I need. If I can say I want to subscribe to a specific transaction, or specific information about transactions, this is exactly what I need. So I don't know. The bus provides a way to subscribe to events from any services running. It's implemented abstract from the transport specific, blah, 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 blah. Bitcore node for subscribing events via WebSocket. That's exactly my use case. So I wish it had more information about what the heck to do with it, but that is something that very well may be what I need. Okay. All right. Dash D. So dash core, dash D, too many overloaded terms. Again, that kind of bugs me about this. Hey, what's up, El Dinero? How you doing, man? Welcome back. Let's see. All right. And did that answer your question, R? Was that adequate? That little rant there? By the way, editor, clip, highlight. It might be cool to take that little rant and make it its own QA byte. Why am I trying to accept Dash payments? So editor note on that one. I tried it because the transcription isn't perfect. The transcription software messes up, so I just try to throw out a bunch of keywords so that when the editor goes to look, they'll see that. Okay, Dash core querying information about the Dash blockchain. It'll run dash D process. Yep. Connect services configured. Yep. API documentation. Getting the latest blocks. Getting best blocks. Okay. Getting synchronization. Giant blocks and transactions. Yes. Yes. Okay. Block height. Get raw block. Not necessarily. Sending, receiving transactions. Get raw transaction. Okay, I think this is going to be important. I kind of remember this from before. I think that back in, okay, I got to go look back to the Dash airdrop because I'm pretty sure I wrote this code for the Dash airdrop way back in the 20 teens. All right. Get unspent outputs of an address. This might be what I want. View balances. Okay, so this is good. I'm going to bookmark this. This is good information. This is going to help me get to where I need to be. I'm pretty sure this may have everything that I need. A new transaction has entered the mempool. I think that this is the money right here. By money, I mean like the money shot, the money info. Is Elias going to work with me on editing? I don't know. So I had a little bit of conversation with Elias, and I'm not sure where it's going yet. But I basically, I've put out some feelers, and I've got stuff back from a bunch of people, and essentially what it's going to be is the people that are the most responsive, and that have the right skill level for the task are going to be the ones that I pick. I don't really need somebody to watch and time code the streams. I mean, I really want you to do that, please. If you hear something interesting, please make a little note, and then when the stream is ended, go plug or write in the chat. Just drop the time code of whatever it is. Please do that. I do want that. But in terms of paying for somebody to figuring out how to pay for somebody to do that, the right solution is to use the transcription service. So otter.ai. This is the cheapest one that I could find, and it seems to be working really well. I can just give you a glimpse of it here. So I split the audio. I'm recording the audio locally. I split the audio out. I upload it here, and then the editor can go in and go find where I am saying I'm going to ask questions, or I'm waiting for questions, whatever. And so I've highlighted a couple places in this one for the editor to know, hey, this whole block here is where some stuff needs to get just cut down. This was lesson material, though. This isn't a live stream, this particular one. So the lesson material is where I want to be, have the highest quality. That's where I'm willing to spend a little bit of money on editing, because that's the high quality stuff. Whereas these, I just want to be able to extract the bytes. So we'll have Q&A bytes, and then bytes and nuggets. We might call it bytes and nuggets, or Q&A bytes. But the cliche BYTE spelling, of course. Just because cliche doesn't make it bad. Remember that, folks. Life advice. All right. I don't know if we're going to need all this stuff anymore. Do we have any complaints about this? We have 2 issues open on this. 2019. All right. So what probably needs to happen here is we probably need, well, we'll see what happens. Oh no. Probably needs a CMake dot. It's probably just missing CMake dot. Yeah, it needs the dot there. Anyway, I'll take a look at that a little later, maybe. Okay, so let's go back here. Again, I don't want to screw up too badly. With the time on this, I want to. I'm gonna make this like that again. All right, let me go back all the way to here. Nope, back all the way to here. So let me just make sure, because sometimes I go too fast. I'm just trying to get as much information as I can, recap. But sometimes I go too fast and I make stupid choices. So I'm going to try not to go too fast. One of the easiest ways to go too slow is to go too fast. Life advice. All right. Prerequisites. -D 0MQ. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go to DigitalOcean. By the way, in all of my videos, there's a link for you to get $100 or 60 days free, whichever comes first, from DigitalOcean. I recommend DigitalOcean because I love them. For no other reason. It is not because I have an affiliate link. If something else were better and it didn't have an affiliate link, I would recommend both, being honest. But I tell you which one I prefer more. I love DigitalOcean. I'm also interested in Vultr. I think it's Vultr, and they also are now starting to offer affiliate links. But I think they're more of a European company, whereas DigitalOcean is more American, if I'm getting that right. Okay, so what we want to do here is I'm going to go to... We should have a demo project. There we go, demo projects. So I'm going to go to demo projects here. Oh gosh, this one's been running for about a year or so. Oh, it needs to die. I just haven't gotten the stuff off of it. Oh, this is the worst. Okay, but I'm going to go here. I'm going to create a new droplet. And I think this has been updated. So we're going to use the latest Ubuntu. That makes sense. Latest LTS Ubuntu. And we're just going to go with the cheapest one. I'm just going to go with the old regular Intel. Basic droplet plans have replaced standard droplet plans. What? User of standard droplets, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. We're going to need to add some disk to this. 25 gigs is not going to be enough. So I'm going to add a block volume. And let's see. I'm guessing that 50 gigs is going to be enough. So I'm just going to enter in 50 gigs. And if we need to expand it, shouldn't be that big of a deal, I think. Ryan, if you're on, could you please confirm, or somebody technical from the Dash team, could you confirm, is 50 gigs enough, or have we exceeded that point and now we're up high? Let me see if I can just Google this real quick. How big is the Dash blockchain? Let's see. Because I don't think that the Dash blockchain is anywhere near as big as some of the other ones. Although, I guess it ought to be about the same. The growth rate ought to be about the same, I would think, in terms of blocks happen every so... Well, I think they changed when their blocks happen, or... I don't know. Okay, what is the size as of now? Let's just look at 2 years ago. Oh, around 2.5 gigabytes? Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. Okay. Is that really 5 years ago? All right, so let's just we'll be safe. We'll put in 25. There we go. That's not so bad. We'll auto mount it. Yes, let's do it. Data center, San Francisco's closest to me. SSH keys. Yep, that's the SSH keys we need. We don't have the option for IPv6 here. No IPv6. Oh well. All right. Enable backups. Yes. Anything that I'm going to be doing where I might need stuff from it. Yeah, we're gonna enable backups. Monitoring. Yep. IPv6. Yep. User data. No. I have never been able to figure out how to use that, by the way. The tutorials mention it, but they never give an example of actually what it does or how to use it. I think it might just be a text file. I'm not really clear, because initially I thought it was a script. You could, because they say, oh, this is how you create a post install script so that your droplet installs. But I think what they're saying is, if you already have an image that has an install script running and you're using that image, then it can get the user data from this MDNS location or something. All right, host name is going to be dash full node. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do for myself? I'm going to go to duckdns.org real quick. I'm going to have to do this on the other screen because they show credentials right out in front. Okay. I'm going to click, what do I want to do with this one? Sign in with GitHub. Sure. I'm going to sign in with GitHub on this one. And I'm just going to create a let's see if I get it. dashnode.duckdns.org. Success. There we go. Dashnode. So this is going to be dashnode.duckdns.org. Great. And then I'm going to call this dash. Okay, so there we are. So that's firing up, and hopefully I got all the resources that I need. Okay, let me check comments here. 50 gigabytes should be good. Check blockchair.com. You're running this on testnet, right? It's probably smaller, I would guess. Okay. All right, I may just need to redo this again. I've got a good link here. So editor, clip, highlight, take note. This is not actually a highlight, but take note of this link here. This blockchair.com -charts blockchain size. Okay, so, okay. All right, redo. Well, actually, let's see if we could do this. Let me see if I can just go to volumes and if I can kick out the one volume and add the other one. So we're going to add a volume. It's going to be 50 gigs. 25 is too low. I'm going to create that volume. I'm going to delete the other one. We can leave the droplet intact. What a huh? Sometimes I think maybe I don't see all of the chat that's going on because that made no sense, R. But R, you say a lot of things that don't make sense. Are you having a side conversation with Josue or something? 30.5 gigabytes. Okay, so 50. Thank you. Thank you, Great Wolf. Okay, so we're going to detach. We're going to delete it. Yeah, I do. Might cause errors, but it might not. Volume has been detached. Oh, crap. But the problem, now I need to go to volumes over here. I should have clicked delete because now I have a leftover volume over here. In fact, I need to go check. No. Do I have beta? What the heck do I have a 160 gig drive? What? I've been paying for that this whole time? Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I totally need to get rid of that volume. I know what that volume's about. Gosh, I can't believe I've been paying for that every month. And I totally, no wonder my bill's been so high. Just, this is confusing. It's confusing because you detach, but if you detach, you still have to go and delete it. All right, I'm gonna go save myself 16 bucks a month real quick. Let me just log in and make sure I can unmount this. I totally forgot. That's a project that I was doing for a client a year ago. Literally a year ago. Sweet. All right. Good. I still have a bunch of FLAC files. Excellent. Okay. Oh, that came out. It did. Well, I'm so glad that we had this experience and I was able to check that so I can delete that. Gosh, 160 gigabytes just chipping away at the dollars in my pocket. All right, so let's go back here. And now I'm going to bring this window back around. Here we are. And, you know, just to, you know, get a little change of angle here. I'm just going to do this for a second. I don't know. Is this? Oh, it's that one. Yeah. This is my phone, by the way. This is my phone. I've got the old, you can tell I've got the old phone because I don't have that nice iPhone 11 night mode. But I hate the airbrush look of the new iPhone. I hate it. At first, I thought it was so cool. I was like, oh, the AI on this is so amazing. But then as a man, I don't want my face to look airbrushed. I want the little bit of stubble to show up. You know, I don't want it to look like. Okay, -node.duckdns.org. Yes, I just SSH'd in. Password. How about no? How about I don't have a password? What? The letter L. Oh, duh. Yeah, I need to take this, copy that, and then I need to go over to DuckDNS, and I need to actually input the address so that I'm not SSHing into myself. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the other camera here and put this back over there. You know, the conventional wisdom says if we just change up the camera a lot, then everybody's going to feel better and the world's going to be a better place. Right? No. Dang it. Okay, so problem is, because I already got it in the DNS cache, now it's trying to log into my own router. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm here. Of course, y'all know what I'm going to do. Webinstall.dev to bash, boom, and then webby VPS utils. What? Oh, I didn't do this. Okay, need to read the instructions. What? What is this all about? Why is it asking me that question? Okay, there we go. All right, webby VPS utils, webby SSH add user. And then we're going to need to do, let me go ahead and add this one as well. Stop. Why does it, I don't know. If anybody knows how to get iTerm2 to stop doing this, at one point I accidentally clicked advanced settings and now it does this every time. And I don't want to do it anymore. I don't know how, I don't see anything on here that tells me how to not do advanced settings. I don't see any button to click. All right. But I have to do it every time. Anyway, and what was the other one? So I was going to do, what was it? VPS add swap, I think is what it was. Cool. All right. So we got some swap. Now I should be able to exit out of this. And then if I'm lucky, nope, it's still got it cached. All right. So we're going to have to do this. Okay, cool. So what I did was I basically, so on webinstall.dev, I have some tools for VPSs. One of them is SSH add user, and SSH add user will add the app user, the standard non-root user. Oh, webby SSH pub key. I'll probably need this, so I'm just going to go ahead and get it now. All right, there we go. I don't know what I'm going to need that for. And then what else am I going to need here? So we should be set up. We got disk. Let's check our disk free. We should see a 50 gigabyte drive, right? Somewhere available, 21 gigabyte, 47 gigabyte. Okay. So we've got that. So here's our node. It's ready to go. I don't think I'm going to need to do anything else in DigitalOcean. And let me get out of there. Let me get out of here. I'll keep that up for now. That might come in handy again. And we're going to go back to, I need to install -d. That's what we're going to go back to here. So services -d. Let's see. This is -node, -service, -core. Is that what we're going to call it? Okay. So this is not -service, but -core, -d. I'm going to try following the current documentation. Make check. Da, 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 da. Do we not have a README here? All right. Let me start from the top. Okay, no README, general information, license information, master, tags, contributing, testing, automated testing, regression testing, quality assurance testing, translations. Okay, so there's nothing useful in the README. Fail. This does not help me at all. This tells me nothing of use. Literally nothing useful is in this README. Wait. No. Immediately usable binary. Okay, I lied. This was here. Put a download binary here. I'm gonna fork that real quick. This just needs to be more clear for the idiot in the room. This guy. Okay. Also, y'all behind the times on your markdown, but whatever. Yeah, because this was probably started way before the common mark standard. All right. Okay, so built in. No. Pre-built binary. But we should have install instructions here, y'all. Come on. There should be, here's the dependencies you need. Here's what you need to install. Because this is just not really useful information. License should go all the way down to the bottom. Nobody cares about that. It's all the same. Well, I mean, unless you had a license that was actually different in some way. Get the important information up at the top. Get the boring information down at the bottom. Translations is definitely boring. I agree with that. Okay. Anyway, this is going to be what? Docs. This is, yeah. Add header to info to binary download info. Download. Binary. All right. All right. Boom. And for those of you watching at home, which is everybody because nobody's in the room with me, or watching at work, I guess, this is the kind of first PR that you should be doing when you see that there's something that doesn't quite make sense or some information's not in the right place. That's the perfect time to just hit the button. And, you know, it's low effort to you. They can accept it. They cannot accept it. Don't worry about it. Do 3 or 4 of them. You get your first commit in. And then you can say, oh yeah, I'm a contributor to Dashcore, you know, that big cryptocurrency project. Yeah, I'm a contributor to that, you know. But even super popular libraries, Prettier, plugins, super popular plugins for things, ESLint, all that stuff. Just documentation commits. All right, so we're going to go here. And I got to check up on comments. All right. I'm not expecting to run on testnet. I want to do the real thing. We both asked if you have used Linode, and now he's confusing me with someone else maybe. Oh, yeah, I didn't see the thing about Linode. My guess is that somehow that got blocked. Maybe I need to ease up on the blocking because the bots have slowed down. The bots were really, really strong for a couple of weeks. I think they come in waves. I think they figure out how to defeat the YouTube algorithm by doing some sort of procedure, joining videos, waiting, liking. They trick the YouTube algorithm into thinking that they're real. And then they get a lot of spam for a week or two. And then the YouTube algorithm adjusts, realizes that everybody's blocking them, therefore they're bots. And then, you know, a month or two goes by and then they figure out a new way to trick the algorithm. It's just that cat and mouse game. So I could probably lessen some of the restrictions on the posting. All right. Linode is great, but Linode is just a little bit more expensive and I don't know that there's a clear benefit to it. I've used Linode in the past before I switched to DigitalOcean. I used to use Thrust VPS. I don't think they're a thing anymore. I still have one of the Rails guys, can't remember who it was. It was the one that just had a question mark. I think he's stealthy. There's some little token, what's the word? When it's a sneaky reference where you kind of get it if you're in the know. There's some reference to him in one of the VPSs that I used to use, one of their you know, about page or something. So I think it's actually run by him or some peeps of his. All right, what about the release section? Okay, let's check. What is this? Is there a release section? I don't see a release section. Okay, so this thing is useless because no one uses it. I mean, people are starting to use it, but no, it's not this useless. It's out of the way. It's not something you'd notice. If I don't see clear documentation, I'm not going to expect to try the releases. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me how to run it. I mean, even if I download this thing, I'm not actually going to know what to do with it. But there needs to be documentation of, I'm assuming people are going to run this on Linux on a server because they're building platform stuff, right? I mean, I could be wrong about that. But anyway, let's go ahead and grab this. We want to get this one probably, copy link address. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to go back to my old documentation, I'm pretty sure, to get some of this figured out. Let's go ahead and make directory. Well, we've got downloads, right? Yeah. So let's go into downloads and I'm going to make directory dash core. I'm a pretty, a pretty blunt and unforgiving person, because basically, I think that software should be built for idiots like me. And obviously I'm not, well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm a target audience for this or not. So I shouldn't say obviously I'm not target audience for this. So I'm guessing what I should be doing here is maybe putting this in .local op -core. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Let's just move this over. So let me make sure I've got some of my other tools that I like to have here. Let's make sure we got node. See, I like that, don't you? You like how that doesn't take 5 freaking minutes to go through a bunch of dependency updates? It just gets the official stuff from the official source. Boom. That's Webby. Webinstall.dev. If you don't love it, it's because you're not using it. I really don't know if there's any argument against it. This is how you get stuff to be reliable and work. Okay, so there's that, and then I'm going to go ahead and give it the old treatment of, let's go in here, whoops. So I'm going to say -core like this, right? I always forget which one is which. Okay, good. And then with Pathman, so I'm just going to do add .local -core, whoops, opt -core, and then what, bin? There we go. So now that's added to my path. All right, so now I don't have to worry about that. That Pathman works with fish, bash, and ZSH, at least. Might work with some other things too, and coincidentally. Okay, so now -d -help. Well, that wasn't what I expected, actually. That's kind of weird. Let's try that again. Opt -core bin. My guess is that something is missing. So sometimes I see this error. Obviously, the file's here. Sometimes you get this error because there's a couple of reasons. One is that it's trying to link against something and it's not available. Sometimes it should give you a linker message about that, but I'm pretty sure I've seen this sometimes where it's trying to find a shared library and it gives this. But other times it's the executable itself. It might be expecting me to give it a path or something. And then when I do dash, it should be capital H. Is that how we go? How about V? No. I think it's saying that it wants a config file and I'm not giving it a config file or something like that. I don't know. Okay. If I implemented set in Rust and feed it a string that converts JSON to YAML that will count towards it, no, it absolutely won't. No, because here's the thing. That demonstrates that you, well, no, it could count in this way. Mid-level developers know enough to be dangerous, and instead of going towards the simple, obvious solution because they're exposed to so many things, sometimes they go for the most complex solution. And that would fall into that category, as you would be doing something extremely complex for something that is extremely simple. And by the way, Vincent, Python would be fine. I have no problem against Python. This is not, if you were doing it in C, you would just be wasting a bunch of time is all. And the requirement is that it's a value object, not that you're not converting the string JSON. You're converting the value object. So in most languages, if you happen to put JSON in there, well, I shouldn't say most, in a fair number of languages, if you just paste JSON in there and assign that to a variable, they parse JSON as value objects as part of the native structure of how the language works. So if your native object in Python or whatever else is not JSON, I thought that Python allowed JSON, but maybe it doesn't. I don't remember. I know, but anyway, you know, then whatever the way that you specify the native object in that language is totally fine. I'm just saying that value object, you're not trying to parse it as a string into a value object and then stringify it into YAML. You're already at the stage where the parsing has been done, because writing a parser is not something that takes 10 minutes. Writing a stringifier can be. All right. What Dash app do you think is in most demand? Also, do you like or have heard of Monero? Isn't Monero for dealing drugs? That's all I know about it. I don't know about Dash apps being in demand. Like I said, for me, it's an opportunity to get a niche group of people that want to spend a digital currency, because people that use Dash, that part of the Dash ethos is that you actually spend Dash. Dash isn't hodl, 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 hodl. Dash is a currency, hybrid kind of thing. But the Dash community is a spending community. And so that's why they would be attractive to somebody that's developing a new web service that has a small customer base, is attracting more customers. I don't love it because I use Arch. Why you don't love Webby because you use Arch? Is there something wrong with Webby and Arch? Because I would be interested in finding out how to make it better for Arch if it's not just because Arch is doing something really weird. I mean, even if Arch is doing something really weird, if it's not something that's, how to say it, it should work in Arch just fine, is what I'm trying to say. I was going to say you can't compile from source and verify the checksums along the way. Yeah. So you don't know if the binaries you were downloaded have been corrupted by the malcontents. Yeah, but here's the thing. Because it downloads from GitHub, you could just check the hash against the hash on GitHub. So you can, right? So, yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Okay, so now I've got this release, but I don't know anything to do with it. So I'm really sad here. I'm going to go back to my old documentation. That's what I'm going to do. Because my old documentation had the information about how to do everything that it needed to do. Except back in those days, I was a little dumber and I would put things in a system directory. And now I'm a little smarter and I put things in the user directory. Okay, and then there was this installer script, which probably does most of the things. But maybe we can update this. Okay, there's the hard way. So I'm going to open an issue to update this. Oh gosh, I've got too many tabs open. All right. New instructions for a new age. So I end up writing documentation a few years earlier and then coming back to the documentation that I wrote all the time. This is a particularly interesting case because I was commissioned to write this documentation in the first place. And it still seems to be, for somebody that's just trying to get started, it still seems like it's probably the best documentation. Unless somebody else can point me. If you're in the Dash community and there's better quick start documentation, please point me to it by all means. All right, so we're going to have dash D. There's going to be some includes, blah, 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 blah. All right, so what are we going to have here? I did this. I did move downloads dash core star to dot local opt. So I'm just going to replicate the instructions as best I can. Okay, and then I went in here. And then I did an ln dash core star. I mean, this should be latest, but whatever. Dash core. And then I did pathman add. Well, I dash core bin. All right. I don't know why I did that txt instead of bash. And just a reminder to anybody from the Dash community that's joining in, I'm an equal opportunity offender. I just want to let you know that out of the gate. So, no worries. Okay, wait. Where did the service file come from? Do we have a service file? Interesting. All right, configuration. So we're going to change this to be local op dash pay etsy dash daemon control. Do I have, ooh, all right, so this is a failure on my part. It looks like, okay, does this have install.sh? Okay, all right, good. System dash service D. I'm imagining there's probably nothing too special about this. Yeah, this looks like this was my standard template from a few years ago, which now is integrated into Serviceman. All right, so working directory. Oh, there are a couple of things. Okay, there are a couple of special tweaks here. How might I handle this? Okay, is this still a thing? Maybe I don't have to worry about that because I'm downloading the compiled version. And so hopefully it's statically compiled and it doesn't, you know, have any of that nonsense. All right, so I'm going to guess that, well, maybe that works. What is it? LDD? Is that the tool that will let us know if this no such file or directory? You know what I need to be in though? Hold on. Apt install -y fish. Never let a moment of your life go by. And I wish I could install this via Webby because I can on Mac and it's just lightning fast. But the fish authors have decided against providing a static binary for Linux because hypothetically one day this other Linux project is going to take off and things are going to become available statically through it and it's going to be this great Mac-like experience. And I'm just thinking, well, you could have that today. You don't have to wait for someday when somebody figures that out. You could just release the static binary, but... Or you can say you're not going to release the static binary because there's a to-do item that sometime in the next 6 years will get done with this other project that one day might or might not take off. Okay. Let's see. All right. So, okay, now I've got fish and my question was, oh yeah, I wanted to run this thing because I want to see if it gives me the same error because sometimes fish gives you better errors. Not always, but sometimes. I guess I could just run -d, right? Okay, failed to execute process. What? All right, I'm thinking I may have downloaded the wrong architecture. I'm on AMD 64. Did I grab the wrong architecture by mistake? It's totally possible that I did that. That's such a me thing to do. Interesting. I have no record of my wrongs. All right, I'm going to try this again. I think I may have just downloaded the wrong architecture. Because this also happens when you download ARM, but you actually need to execute on not ARM. So let me go back through. Oh, okay. I pulled the 686 and I should have picked x64. That's what happened. I must have just had a brain fart. Usually they work, but I can understand that it didn't. That's fine. Okay, so we're to rumrough dash core 1.7. We're gonna whoops. All right, I'm gonna go into downloads. Wget this. Okay. Cool. So where does this come from? Let me go ahead and make sure I got this documentation. So I like to document things as I go. This is my process, and this has worked well for me, and this is part of why I make good money, because I document my process as I go. I figure out where things are, and I keep an open note or an open issue or an open gist, and I document as I go. And then this is what allows me to be, I'm going to use the term 10x developer. It means a bunch of different things, but essentially my brain is small and I'm an idiot, but my experiences are real. So lived experience. This is my lived experience. And when I go back to search for it, I have it again. And so I can be much smarter than my brain is because I use tools that are smarter than I am, because these things, my blog never forgets, and heaven willing, Gist will never forget. Although I certainly recommend for things that are important to you, you have at least a backup self-hosted option just in case. I'm going to check comments in just a second here, but I'm kind of in the flow of this, so I don't want to break what I'm doing right now because I'm in a good place. So let's see, dash core. Yes. No, wait, what? Huh? Oh, I didn't XVF it yet. All right, let's do that. There we go. Cool. All right, we're going to put this one in local opt. And then if I do dash D now, yeah, you got to use better tools. Fish, you know, I can't remember what command I did 6 months ago, but you know what can? Fish can. I mean, obviously on this server that doesn't hold because I just created it, but you know, I can go ls and it'll show me everything I've ever done there. I can do dash D and it'll show me everything I've ever done that has dash D in it, right? Okay, can we do help? Yeah. Cool beans. All right, cool. So we're cooking with fire now. We're in a good space. All right, and then yeah, so we did this. So I'm going to say, going into downloads, tar xvf dash core. Boop. Okay. All right, cool. So I got that running. And I do have in this repository, I do have there's my daemon file. Good, good, good. All right, so this is just all old stuff. Okay, so I've got my dash.conf. What are the odds that this old dash.conf will still work? I think they're pretty decent, actually. I think that this is probably a... Oh, no. Okay. I think this is probably a fairly slow-moving target. No, 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 no. Come on. Come on. How do I get version? Dang it. You made me exit my fish. I didn't want to do that. All right. Dash D, dash dash help. Let's see. Does this have version information in it? Let's get that from the top and scroll all the way up. Okay. 17.03. What version was this intended for here? If I didn't put information in here, that's because I was being a dummy. It looks like I didn't. Okay, V. Okay, let me look at comments now. Couldn't find the URL to the coding challenge. I will bring it back up. Let me... Yes, like my choir director always says, the shortest pencil is better than the longest memory. Document all the things. That's my life motto or something. I appreciate that you appreciate my documentation habits, Vincent. Let's see. Are you using Ubuntu? Why not Vanilla Debian? Because I don't care about Linux at all. Yeah, I think that Linux has become the most unimportant thing in the universe. I think, you know, it's kind of like PC Gamer Master Race. If you just want to sit down and have a good time, get an Xbox. Well, I'm a Nintendo fan. I'm not really a gamer. I just do Nintendo. If you want to pixel peep, if you want to obsess over all the minutia, yeah, PC Master Race, right? And that's how I feel about Linux. If your goal is, I need to get something up, I need to get it running, I need it to be quick and easy, and I don't care about configuring the system because it's not part of my application. I mean, this is the whole thing with Docker, right? This is if you can run Docker scratch, and that to me is a good Docker image. Because all you need is a Linux kernel, and that's it. I don't use Linux as a desktop. I gave up on the Linux desktop dream. I believed in it for a decade, and it failed me. And I came to reality, and I said, you know what? Getting a Mac. So, all right. I'm thinking we're just going to see if this still works. But I do need to have, I can tell from this, I need the ZMQ. I need the ZMQ. I don't know if I'm going to need libsodium. I think you need libsodium for ZMQ, but maybe you don't anymore. All right, so this is all the dash stuff. That's all configured, daemon control, manual daemon control, resources. Okay, I wish this was a little bit better documentation. Okay, ZMQ. Enable ZMQ. Oh, yes, that was a killer one right there. I think I had to use that for something else as well. And when I was using ZMQ for another client, I think I ran into that same error and had to do that thing. All right. Let's look at my install script. ZMQ. I'm guessing, let's see if it said what version of ZMQ we need over in this documentation. I'm hoping that maybe the problem with technologies when they're exciting is that their versions change all the time, which means that they never work, which is one of the reasons I never use apt if I can avoid it. But maybe we've gotten to the point where either ZMQ is wizened up and releases static builds, like what Dashcore has done. Thank you, Dashcore. I appreciate that. Or at least mostly static. It might link to something, but I was able to download it off the website without installing anything other than what's included in the base system, and it worked. So it seems that what isn't static is available in the package. That's the way that it should go. Throw it into .localopt and run it. Okay, so let me get back here. There's too many things I have open, but I kind of need to have them open. All right, 0 MQ. Yes, okay. Oh, wait, no, this is not good. This says ZMQ3, but when I did this years ago, my note says ZMQ4. So that means that that documentation is probably hecka out of date. Because if their README still says ZMQ3, but the code requires ZMQ4, I don't know. But let's see, what are we up to these days? 0 MQ. I hope that it is a complete project and that it doesn't have new versions anymore. And it looks like that might be the case. Check it out. August 8th, 2014. So this may be a complete project. It may have arrived at its purpose and not need to continue to grow. Yeah, so it's got a 2021 on there. Interesting, it's got a 2021, and yet the date. I wonder if it's an authorship date. Maybe when they created the page, I'm just kind of curious about this. I'm going to check it out real quick. Maybe when they created the page, they used a meta author date or something, and then no one ever updated it after that, because that kind of stuff happens too. So what was it, 2014? Maybe it's actually in here. Nope, I don't see it in there. Okay, documentation. Let's go to GitHub. Let's see if they've got some binary releases yet. 0 MQ, Zaire, NetMQ, ZMQ. I thought that this thing had its own. I thought it had its own service. Maybe I'm thinking of Rabbit. Maybe this is the library that other things hook into, and maybe RabbitMQ is the thing I was thinking of that's got the interface and all that. Okay, I'm going to take a gamble. I'm going to guess that, well, first let's see what version this thing is at. Let's just look at this. What? ZMTP 3.1? Now I'm confused. How is something from 18 days ago at version 3, but something from 4 years ago at version 4? I think some wires are getting crossed. Let me go back and read more carefully. I might not have used my 3rd grade reading skills properly. No, that's libzmq3. That's truth. Okay, so we go back over here. Let's see, do they have a releases? libzmq4. So at least we got the same major version as what my documentation says. So that gives me a high degree of confidence. I'm probably going to be okay just installing from, let's see, we do apt cache, we do apt cache search libzmq. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Now I'm super confused. This says version 5. The dev, which is the header files and stuff, says version 3. And the latest version on the website is version 4. I'm not breathing this whole time. Okay. Okay, I'm missing something. So ZMTP, this is protocol. Protocol version 3. ZMQ version 4. Maybe if I check releases, there's a beta release or something. Is there a beta release? A pre-release? Or maybe Ubuntu's doing a weird thing and calling it something for stupid. Let's see. Is there, whoops, there's only one branch. That's interesting. And there is no version 5, so I don't know what to make of this. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. But here's what I'm going to do. 0MQ3 is what? It's called 4? Okay, I'm checking the chat. OpenBSD user. Yeah. It's just I don't care enough to use vanilla Debian. Yeah. Yeah, so Ryan, I think you're right. The library is on one version. The protocol it implements is on another. Hold on, I'm going to undo my pant button here because when I bend over in my chair, the button, it pushes into my stomach sometimes. And it kind of starts to itch and hurt a little bit. So the hardest button to button, you know? Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and install all 3 of these. And whatever happens, happens. Maybe I shouldn't do that, actually. Let me see what the failures tell me. Okay. So let me go back to my stuff. And I do have the hard way. So this is the quick start, basically. And then I also do have the hard way. For the lazy, automatic installation. Okay, so I do need to do an update. I'm going to need to have all of the daggone tool things. I still do this every single time I run screen. XRS awesome. Makes it so that other people can log in and share a screen session with you. All right. Create self-contained environment. Yep. See, even back then I was at least smart enough to put things in the right place. Not quite as smart as I am now, but at least smart enough to do that. Oh gosh. Hey, look, I already did that too. And pretty much the same thing. All right, Berkeley DB. Do I need Berkeley DB? No, I don't think I do. I don't think I need any of these things because I'm not compiling it myself. All right, but let's take a look at this. No, I don't want to compile it if I can avoid it. Yeah, I don't want to compile if I can avoid it. Okay, let's see if I have... Okay, let me look at some other documentation here. Because I referenced other documentation in my documentation, maybe that documentation is more up to date. Because if I can avoid it... Let's see. I referenced what? I referenced the hard way. I referenced that. I thought I referenced, okay, this one. I swear I was smarter when I was younger. I don't know if I could figure all this out today. Do we? Okay, so this is old. Well, no, this was updated in 2017. Did I do that recently? It wasn't in 2017 when I did this. I think this has been updated. That's great. Maybe it was in 2017 that I did this. The years, they just start to meld together, you know? Time compression and all that. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll go with that. This technically should be .config/-core, but a ton of programs still do it the 1990s way. Okay, cool. So this is good. That's good information still. All right, let's just move forward. I'm going to install... Well, I'm just going to put the config file there and I'm going to follow the arrows. That's what I'm going to do. I've got too many tabs open, but I'm keeping them open because they all have slightly valuable information on them. Okay, so I don't want this one. I want this one. I'm going to take the comp file and I'm going to put this into, you know what I ought to do on this though? Well, I'm not going to put that there yet. Where is my issue? All right, so what I need to do is we need to mkdir dot dash, was it dash core D or something like that? What was it? Okay, I need to at least take the most important things and put those in a different window. I can still keep the other ones for reference. But yeah, I need to pull some of these out because I've got too many tabs on them. It's taking me too long to switch between them to figure out what the important stuff is. Okay. So we got this one here. And I guess it could go into Etsy. But the other instructions say it's going to look... Okay, so these instructions are more up to date, I think. Let me just do a quick... Oh, 2018? No way. It feels like much longer ago. I thought this was earlier. I thought this was way earlier. This is right after I lost my company. I guess all the emotional trauma of that, which I'm being serious about that, kind of makes you forget things or misplace times of things. Or maybe it's just because time compression. Okay, but okay, so this blog article, dang it, I've already done it again. Okay, we're gonna go back to this blog article. Says dash core, wait, dot dash core dash, okay, dash core. Okay, I'm going to do this now. We'll update that comment. I'm actually going to move this up ever so slightly, more than slightly, so I can get to this thing now. Okay, so from here, mkdir.-core. Yep. Oh, good. .-core. Oh, it updated all that stuff on its own. Okay, .conf. Nothing there. Server, whitelist. ZMQ. Okay, so it's going to be upset because ZMQ is not installed, ostensibly. Or if it's all statically compiled, shouldn't be a problem. Let me just compare these options to the other options real quick that this person used. Let's just see how similar they are. So this one is actually older than mine. So mine is newer. All right, I'll look at comments again in just a second. By the way, if this is interesting or useful for you, please consider a like and a sub or a follow, depending on which platform you're on. And if it's not, then, you know, or I just piss you off, just give me a big fat thumbs down. All right. But you know what? I shouldn't be pissing anybody off. Don't give me a thumbs down. Give me advice. Although sometimes. All right, this all looks the same. Looks like I copied it verbatim. Okay, deal. All right, so -d. And I don't really want to run this in daemon mode because I don't want it to run in the background. I want it to run in the foreground. Let's see what happens. You need to rebuild the database. Okay, I'm fine with that. I don't think there's much of a database, so yeah, let's do it. Failed to create backup. You can continue if you're okay with this, but it doesn't tell me how to continue. I don't know what that means. Here's what I'm going to do. I've got a way to solve that problem. Okay. Watch how I solve that problem. Boom. Problem solved. There we go. In theory now, I should be able to run this. And it should do its thing. And I actually should probably, hold on. We're gonna do this one more time. We're gonna do this one more time. Because this might take a while. Oops. So I'm going to make that directory. I'll check comments in just a second too. I think I saw one out of the corner of my eye. Or it might have been just something else. I got another web page open and sometimes it switches what's in the feed and that triggers me. Okay, why did I do that? Oh, because I'm going to run this in screen. Yes. Because I want to be able to reattach and see the output and stuff. That's why I don't want to run it in daemon mode. I guess if I ran it with systemd, then that would all be well and good. Now, if my understanding is correct, systemd is infected regular Debian, right? Okay. Hey, that will absolutely help. Thank you, Ryan. I will take a look at the script. Oh no. Hey, oh, shell check. I don't know if that works. I don't think you can do that for a script because it doesn't compile. I'm not sure. I don't remember. GPLv2. Yeah. Okay. This is of null effect. This code does not compile. Therefore, the GPL doesn't have any meaning. Also, this means that I shouldn't look at this because looking at this makes me legally liable for, well, that's the Microsoft mentality. Busy loop, what? This is really long. So I'm going to say Google's got the right advice here. This, you know it's time to switch to Go when your bash script is more than about I don't know, maybe 200 lines long, but this probably has really important information in it. So master node, as I'm guessing what this is, NMO user. Is MNO master node? Okay, yep. All right, I'm looking for dash conf. I'm not too worried about all the userdel stuff. Prevent root SSH logins. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, all right. So this is his full script for the entire thing. So basically what I do with Webby SSH add user, that's this stuff here. So it goes through, it checks for safety, it adds the app user. Interesting. Yeah, okay, cool. That's neat. He uninstalls a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. libpollkit. Yep. So he just looks for stuff to make sure that it's uninstalled. He's just trying to make the image smaller. Yep. So this was updated a couple days ago because of that. Yep. And I'm not, to be honest, I'm not worried about that because the way that I run systems, I don't do multi-user systems. There's a lot of things that I do. Basically, to me, a VPS is basically the same as Docker. You hear me talk about how I don't like Docker. It's not that I don't like Docker. It's that I don't like how people use Docker as an excuse to have no idea how their app works and no one in the organization know how to fix something in the deploy process because basically somebody 6 years ago set it up in Docker. I don't even know if Docker was around 6 years ago. And then it's just this fragile system that nobody touches because, well, hey, it works. So I'm totally on board with Docker if you're doing Docker Scratch, or if you've got to a point where you can do something, because you can't always do Docker Scratch, but if you can do something pretty similar, where your system is well understood and easy, yeah. Anyway, that's a completely different rant. Enable firewall, configure swap, configure Tor. Interesting. Add system control. All right, download and install Dash. This is what we're interested in. So we got uname. Yep, he's doing the same thing I'm doing here. He's actually doing the check of the checksum. I trust HTTPS. So basically the way that the checksum could be wrong, this is kind of if somebody has hijacked GitHub, then they can also recreate a SHA-256 sum. So this is, sometimes I get in debates with people about this, and I just don't think there's any winning that debate because it's circular logic. If your authority that you trust if you can't trust the authority that you trust, then why would you trust the SHA sum from the authority that you trust? If somebody's hacked GitHub to put a fake release up, why wouldn't the person who's so sophisticated that they can hack it and put a fake release up also put a SHA sum that matches their fake release? So I'm not to say, I don't know what the value is in checking this, because if you're going over HTTPS, I don't know what the value in checking that is. If somebody has a practical reason other than because our forefathers said so, I would like to know what that is, because if I am mistaken about it, I want to know. But I just can't, when I've had these conversations with people, it just seems to be circular logic on that one. And, maybe somebody else has for that. So one of the cool things about ManPath is that if you add a bin to your path, your ManPath is actually updated automatically, because the ManPath, when it's calculated, is calculated based on ManPath itself, but then also just path. So if the man files exist in the proper location, you actually don't have to do anything to configure man pages. Let's see. Okay, cool. Here's the part that we're really interested in. This is the good stuff right here. Okay, I'm going to open up another screen instance. That's Control AC. And then I'm just going to take a look at my config. I'm going to pull this over to the other window so that I can kind of compare them side by side. So I'm sorry that you won't see it. Okay. All right. So it's interesting. I want to go check out. So we're on line 537. I'm going to keep that bookmarked for the second. Get random string. I'm going to be interested to see how he does this. If he's using okay, TR. All right. That's the way to do it. That works. Because my random function, I either will use OpenSSL, which I understand why somebody wouldn't want to depend on that because you don't have a guarantee that OpenSSL is on a system. But yeah, dev urandom is more likely to exist, and TR is going to exist whether it's BSD or GNU. But my random function is config fish config rnd. So I use xxd to do it, and then I can get myself in either base64 or hex, and then I'll use the OpenSSL one too. But it's just interesting to see how people choose to do that. Okay, now let's go back to where we're at, 537. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. So random user, whoops. Random password. IP. I don't think I have IP set on mine. IPecho.net. I don't know if that's important for the way that I'm doing mine. This dude is a bash master. I don't ever want to be a bash master, though, to be honest, because seriously, if something gets to be complex, I'll either rewrite it in Node or I'll rewrite it in Go. And I think Go is the better choice, generally speaking, because it flows very naturally. Although, we were talking about, what was it? I forget the name of this. Was it XZ? Is that the script? XZ? No, it's something else. What Google's got basically a very lightweight library for Node that uses the template string functions to make it appear, to make writing bash look sexy, essentially. And it is good. All right, message. Interesting. I didn't know you could do plus equals in bash. Wait, hold on. Message. This must be something that I'm not familiar with. Something weird's going on here because it says, is that a bug? Should that be a plus equals? I'm a little confused. That's all right. This is hardcore stuff here. BLS key. I don't have a BLS key. All right. So here we go. All right. So, all right, what has he got here? I'm going to structure mine after his because he seems to be pretty, he seems to have his ducks in a row. So let me update mine to do what his is doing because I think he's doing the right stuff. So RPC user, let's see, is there anything else there I missed? And then listen equals 1, server equals 1. I'm going to comment out daemon equals 1 because I don't really want it to run as a daemon for me right now. I'll check that comment in just a second. I think. I haven't been checking the comments lately. Master node. So I'm not a master node, so I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about external IP. So I don't know if I want to listen one either. I don't think I do want to listen one. Or listen true is what that's saying. I don't think I need a proxy. I'm not doing Tor. Okay, so that's not me. Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice. Nice. I like that. That's cool. Learn some stuff. Out of memory policy, you shouldn't run out of memory, but if you do, the only thing that can happen is you kill a process. But we want it to restart if it dies from out of memory. Because basically, system goes out of memory, it goes into essentially when your body goes into shock. It's a server. An out of memory error is a server going into shock. It basically just starts shooting at processes at random. Chaos engineering. Trying to kill things until the system starts working better again. Okay, type equals forking. I wonder if I need to have that in there. Wait, CLI. Exec stop is not set. System D6, which is okay, just not ideal. Okay, yeah. I got, oh, okay, yeah. I get what it's doing there. That's cool. Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna bookmark this. Whoops. This is really good stuff. There's a lot to learn in here for anybody that does Bash. There's more than I would want anyone to learn in here for sure. Because if you get to that point, like I said, it's time to leave Bash behind and do something that's a little bit more well suited. But in terms of, just the system D stuff and the configuration, that's all great. What in the world is this? I don't know what that is. Sentinel. I think this is one of those logging programs. Crontab. Still a master node. Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, this is really well written. I think it belongs in something else. I think that this person might enjoy the that node bash program maybe. I don't know, because having node to run bash is kind of obnoxious. A little bit much. I think Go is a better solution because it stays fairly lightweight. But okay. Yeah. Reclaim free disk space. Dash masternode Zeus. You're running as a root user. Blah 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 blah. All right, cool. That's neat. This is hardcore. Hats off to you, Zeus. You are truly an Olympian god of Bash. Okay, let me check this out. Yeah, I don't really get the whole systemd thing. I left Linux as a praying to the Linux gods, hoping that the year of the Linux desktop would come. I left the cult of Linux before the cult of systemd consumed and blah. But understanding the arguments about systemd, I agree systemd is evil. But since I don't care about Linux, I don't have a dog in the fight. So if you were to say, hey, here's an alternative that does everything that you want it to do and the startup times are fast because it's using, I don't know, one of the other 10 competing things to systemd, then I'd say, sure, great, let's do it. Except that I don't want to have to deal with managing system services. So let's get servicemen to manage whatever that thing is. Unless it's so simple. No, servicemen is what if I'm going to switch to anything else, the person that is switching with me, we just need to work on servicemen to make sure that servicemen can handle that system launcher as well. All right, nomenclature. Made it mostly for masternode owners. Do we know what listen means? I'm assuming that might be a masternode specific thing. Listen versus server. I'm guessing that it's listening because it wants to handle transactions or something. GitHub was compromised recently and code was compromised with malware. This happened recently. Link me to an article about that. Put it up in the Discord if you don't mind. I would love to read about that. That said, if they compromise GitHub and put in a bunch of malware, if they're that sophisticated, I just can't imagine that they are not sophisticated enough to rerun a SHA-SUM file. You know? Yeah, I just don't have time in my life to do that, to compile everything from source. Because think about it this way. I go outside every day and I drive to work. It's one of the most dangerous things that a human could embark on is getting on the road in a piece of metal that's going 80 miles an hour. That's just ludicrously dangerous. But, I'm numb to it. I accept certain costs in my life. And if every waking moment is spent trying to deal with the boogeyman, then I'm just going to grow a really big neck beard and I'm not going to increase anymore in my status and capabilities. Oh yeah. So I kind of wrote a little bit of web app thing in Bash just for the fun of it once. Uh, I don't recommend anybody do it, but yeah, Bash is cute. You can do interesting things in it. You can get away with a lot. I think OSX initialization networking system supposedly inspired System D, but I'm not sure if that's true. There's basically a quote from the guy because somebody who hates System D enlightened me. Because before I was just thinking, dude, who cares? It's a system launcher. Pick whichever one. It's the one that won out. Deal with it. Gentoo had one. Ubuntu had, was it Upstart? Gentoo had Upstart. No, Ubuntu had Upstart. Gentoo had something that seemed really good. I don't know why the Gentoo one didn't win out because that one was super simple. It was just basically, define this tree that's all your stuff and let it run. And I was like, yeah, that's great. Let's do it. And then Upstart, sure, whatever. I don't know why we needed Upstart. It seemed like there was things that were working just fine, but okay, Upstart. And then Upstart was replaced by System D. And again, I'm thinking, why do we keep on changing this system? This is one of those things where are people with 30 years of experience really not able to figure this out? But whatever. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go back here and we're just letting this thing run. I don't remember what to do with it afterwards. I think we have to let it run for a long time. One of the things I'm concerned about is I did not specify where any storage is being saved. I'm worried that this might all be being saved to this dash core here. That's only 22 megabytes. Okay. So I don't know what's going on. But I think I just need to move on to the next thing. It didn't break, so let's move on to the next thing. Okay. I'm going to come back around to the System D service. I don't want to do that right now. Okay, data dir. That's what I want to do. This will work for me. For now. Um, hmm. Hmm. This one? Like that? Permission denied. So what I need to do then, make the directory and chown the directory. All right, let's see what happens. Gonna update my little logs here. Should probably just go ahead and label this a little bit. So install static -d. Download pre-built -d. So, Vincent, what is your programming background? Install -d as the app user. I'll just say default user. I know we talked about it before, but I don't remember. That's the thing. Add -d to path. Configure -.conf. Run -d with the mounted volume. No, I don't want to do that yet, actually. First, allow the -d user to write to the mounted volume. Yeah, we're going to do that. So volume star, assuming a digital ocean volume. Okay, let's take another sip of focus. I'm feeling focus leave me. You know what we're going to need to do? Remember the old rule. 2 parts water, 1 part caffeine. I'll give you a full frontal on this one. Almost got a brain freeze on that. Okay. 2 parts water. Ah, that's a little warm. And after all of that filtered water, which who knows what terrible things that has in it after being filtered. It tastes a little strange. There we go. Now I'm ready for the day. Okay. I totally forgot what we were doing after all of that. Something about this, that, or the other. Okay, so now we're going to run -d and let it get greedy or something. Okay, what did I have over here? Same kind of thing, right? Yeah. I'm just going to update this ever so slightly. Whew. All right, there we go. So that's all up to date. Oh no! Those spam bots are bad with the vor. Blockety blockety. All right, let's see. CIA backing is essentially the reason why System D and its friends are in every major distro. That's what they say. I'm an economist and statistician that learned some assembly, C, shell scripting, Python, and pieced together that Bayesian statistical inference should be used with adapted algorithms in 2011. Do you want to try that again? So Bayesian statistical inference is a term that I don't understand. If you could define that for me. Should be used with adapted algorithms. So adaptive meaning that you change it slightly based on the context of the situation, or that it can understand the context of something and tweak. Yeah. Help me a little bit with that, if you don't mind. All right, and then in 2012, some big brain people put together a convolution neural network that blew away traditional CV algos in competition. So CV, computer vision. You could say, I'm a self-taught data scientist. Well, hello, self-taught data scientist. And how are you, sir? They call me... Oh, whoops, what did I do here? That does not look right at all. Let's do this one. Yay, what? What? Sometimes you really gotta wonder. So take a look at that and tell me, how did this go so wrong? Okay. I don't understand why this is off. I'm going to try this one more time. So let's do 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks right. I don't know. Oh, now it's magically okay. I think there was a space after the 4. I think it was throwing it off, oddly enough. Okay. All right, so we're doing a thing here. And let's see if this mounted volume is getting any stuff in it. I have a feeling that it isn't, but it should be. That looks like stuff to me. Oh, okay. All right, so this is basically going to run all night. That's what I'm getting out of this. So let's see if there's some other stuff I can do before I just let that fill up a disk for the evening. Because I think that I'm at the point where, well, one thing that I could do, which I think would be good to do, would be to see what do I need to do for this to work. Can I just use Serviceman? I think I can just use Serviceman. I'm going to try Serviceman. I think what I'm going to do is say, get me into the volume mount folder. All right, so let's go in there. So, because basically I want this to be the directory that this is running from. Start -d as a system service from the mounted volume. Should I call it dash core or dash D? It's no longer called dash pay. I guess it used to be called dash pay. So I'm going to say name equals. Oh, so this is just going to be my standard thing. Sudo env path equals path, right? And then I add this, and we're going to have path equals path again. Let me go look at how I web install.dev /caddy. I need to do web install.dev PRs again. I'm a bit behind on those. We got some good ones. All right. Add, oh, and I should do -- system, of course. Yep. So -- system name. Oh, username. Yep, I need that. Username, who am I? That should have been in quotes. That's a bug. Okay, and then all of the arguments for the thingy. So then after all of this, -- and then there we go, -d conf data dir, like so. Okay, well, let's go ahead and give that a shot and see how it works. I'm suspecting okay, this why I don't have this set up with Vim Essentials. I was saying, why is this not working? Why am I not getting my auto tooling? All right. Okay, let's see what we got. Adaptive algorithm is a set of instructions to perform a function that can adapt in the event of changes in the environment or circumstances. Pretty vague though. Yeah, that's why I'm. Yeah, because so I have largely through what I've seen. A lot of the whole machine learning, artificial intelligence is BS. It's essentially spreadsheets with well-known statistical algorithms that have existed for a long time, and you run them over a data set and have it compare different columns of the data set, and you kind of give it a little bit of guidance and say, hey, these two things as a human I think are probably correlated and worth looking at, but you just kind of let it compare everything so that it can find connections that you wouldn't have guided it towards. Real secret sauce is the artificial neural networks. Yes, that multi-layered perceptron. I don't know if you're saying perception or perceptron, because that sounds like that could be a real thing, but perceptron algorithms. Yeah, so that sounds like the real artificial intelligence. Anyone can call themselves a data scientist or an economist. There's no real requisite other than having a math-ish background. Okay. I was just made the economically suboptimal choice of getting a degree in econ stats before I knew there was no RI. Oh. Economics requires no math as far as I'm concerned. Oh. All right. Feel free to post some YouTube videos I should watch on this in the Discord. On this argument, not argument, but discussion about the what type of economist and whatnot. Okay. So let me go back here for a bit because there was something where I printed out this. Yes, I want all of these things. These are the things that I want to make sure exist. I think the only one that wasn't installed by default was JSN. I think Prettier is installed, Shellcheck and Schwumpt are all installed a part of JS Essentials, but JS Hint is a little too opinionated for, well, not that it's too opinionated, because I'm totally fine with things that are opinionated. It's a little too controversial when a reasonable alternative exists. I don't think there's a reasonable alternative to Prettier. Well, you could say that ESLint is a reasonable alternative to Prettier, but I don't think it is. But I think that ESLint can be made a reasonable alternative to JS Hint. Okay, cool. So now, let's see. Yay! Okay, now I feel better. When autocomplete works and auto format works, I feel better about the world. When it doesn't work, then I feel that the world is not in balance. Okay, so I think that this is going to work right here. Yep, this should work. Oh! Let's see what's going on here. What did I do wrong? Name. Serviceman add system username name. Path. Oh, I don't do this on sudo. That's right. All right, what did I do wrong here? Something that I didn't like. Do I need to put the double dashes on here again? Okay, that's good. And this is good. I think it's just complaining about some sort of perception that's just off. All right, let me take a look at that and see what the output of this was. All right. Oh, interesting. Was something do we have a Uh-oh, what happened here? Something weird's going on. Something weird is going on. I'm not quite sure what this is, but essentially the parser I think it's catching the wrong thing. So I think I need the double dash on this one. Index out of range with length 0. Okay. Uh-oh. Interesting. So it thinks that these are arguments. Let me try this one more time. I would try it this way. This is the wrong thing to do. There we are. That's it. Okay, that's probably, I don't know if that's a bug in Serviceman or a feature that's not working as might be desired. Oh, and also I need to go kill that other one now. There's no sense in having this one running and that one trying to start too. Hopefully that other one didn't start because it saw that the one was running. Okay, so let me go get this like that. Okay, so let me recap on that real quick. So it's Serviceman, because it's a Go program, it tries to interpret flags like this one, for example. And you can give it a double dash to tell it, hey, ignore the flags that are coming up next. But I think there's a bug in the way that it's parsing the string, that the double dash ends up being ignored the first time. And then you have to put another double dash after the name. No, I remember now. This is actually in the documentation. This is not a bug. It's a feature. Because after the double dash, you can put the name of the application. But if you want all of the strings after that application to be interpreted literally by that application alone, you put another double dash. I think this was in the documentation for it. I'm trying to remember. Okay. I don't know if I believe that such a thing as unsupervised learning exists. That sounds like magic. But if you tell me it's true, then maybe I can believe you. Maybe. Maybe. No promises, but maybe. Okay, so let's see here. Sudo journal ctl zfoo -d. No journals were found. Well, that's not very promising. Actually, let's go in here. Add dash D. Oh, because there's no entries because there's nothing to see. Okay, that kind of makes sense. All right, so now I'm back to where I was however many years ago that it was. Got the thing running. It's downloading some stuff. It's really, really slow, but it is downloading. So it's going to get somewhere eventually. Dang, that's slow. Can we speed this up somehow? Anybody know? Seems that it should be able to download it pretty quickly. Seems that there would be lots of nodes available, and they just say, "Hey, download stuff." Or I think one way we did this before. I think there was basically a download that you could give it, and maybe this is in my documentation there. I thought there was a download that you could give it, basically give it a snapshot of the blockchain at a certain time, so that you didn't have to wait 6 bajillion hours for it to do it from scratch. Do we not have that? I also need to figure out where this ZMQ bit is, which now I'm thinking might be on the volumes folder. First of all, let's get rid of that volumes folder. It's not used anymore. Let's just sudo that. Okay, good. I don't have to deal with that. Out, volumes, dashcore, config.log, db.log, maybe. It seems that there should be a config.log. There used to be a config.log. Is there anything else that... Okay. Let's see what we got here. So speaking of Perceptron, let's see if I can do this without doxing myself again for the 11 millionth time. Where is my... Here we go. Speaking of Perceptron, look what is on my Amazon wish list. Yeah. The complete original series. The Perceptrons versus the Autonobots. Automnotron bots. Automnotrops? Let's see. All right. Adios, Vincent. Have a good night. I think it was documented somewhere that these bootstrap files existed because I documented it somewhere. I would think. I'm gonna see if I can I mean, I did this, right? You know what? Okay, now with my newfound knowledge, so check this out. So we got part 1 and part 2 and part 3. Okay. Now, whoops. All right, so we have now, gosh, how in the world did I get this done in just a grand total of 35 minutes before? That's not real. That never happened. Holy moly, what is wrong with my brain? Maybe I'm getting too much caffeine and not enough sleep. Also, I probably had documented this and then went through the whole thing. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do two things. One, I could have sworn, I don't know. All right, here's the playlist.
So that's
oh no! Stop playing that. I'm going to download the audio for this. So YouTube playlist audio downloader. And then I'm going to upload it to Otter. And then I'm going to get the transcription. And then I'm going to be able to search for where I said this thing. And then it's going to give me the time code. And then I'm going to go see that part because I'm pretty sure that was in here. All right, so I'm going to let this do its thing on another screen. I'm going to keep it in the foreground so it doesn't freak out. And I'm going to go look and see if I have that in my own documentation. Nice. An entire series of cheese graters in your Amazon wish list. I'm not gonna lie, I'm almost there with you. Not on the cheese graters, but yeah, there's some stuff. Oh my god, trying to find the perfect bowl for ramen, which by the way, you may have noticed I haven't been using the ramen bowl. Yeah, I go through phases of things, and ramen's one of those things where I just want to eat nothing but ramen for 3 months straight, and then I have no desire to eat it again for another year or two. And then I just want to eat nothing but ramen for 3 months straight. Probably related to the seasons, or I don't know what it is. But yeah, I ended up buying 4 or 5 different bowls to find the perfect one, and the perfect one ended up being a dog bowl. I kid you not. It was from Walmart. I'd bring it up if I could, but I don't think they have it on their website. I think it was only available in store because I scoured their website trying to find it. But it's the perfect size. The round ramen packets fit right in it. It's nice and hot because it's nice thick ceramic. Okay. So bootstrap. I could have sworn. Let's see. Let's look at the Dash Hive stuff here. Dash D installer, Dash drop. What? No. What? Okay, who's been updating this? It was not me. Why does it say it was updated? I did not do that. What? How does it say it's updated? That makes no sense. Okay, dash drop, dash giveaway, dash insight installer, dash vote. Is this, Ryan, is this what we're talking about? Are we resurrecting dash vote? Is that what we're going to be doing soon? Okay. Dash insight installer. Ah. I think it's going to get resurrected. I doubt these are real. Oh, really? Elliptic. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, wow. That's scary. I wonder if I use elliptic. I don't think I do. I think I stuck with the native on mine. So there would have had to been a vulnerability in. So if you used key pairs, you'd be fine both in the browser and in Node because it relies on web crypto in the browser and on the Node native implementation elsewhere. Critical. What? What's the critical severity? Prototype pollution. Meh, meh, meh. That doesn't make sense because if it's critical, I would think critical would mean that it could be exploited. Like 0 day is critical. I said like again, didn't I? Yeah, you'd have to have somebody already running arbitrary code. That's not critical. Somebody has to already have access to the system. If you're talking about from the outside, somebody can get in. That's critical. If you're saying somebody has to already have code running on your system, I have a hard time justifying that as critical because that's your 15 walls have already been broken. All right. Let's see. Dang. Okay, let's see if these downloads are done yet with the MP3 bit here. I'm going to just go over here and plop that down in downloads real quick, upload that to Otter. I'm going to burn through my usage. I think I'm going to have 2 Otter accounts because I'm just going to burn through this so fast with all the videos that I'm having them transcribe. All right. Well, I think I've got simpler, updated instructions that work with the latest version of -D. It seems though the libmq stuff is just part of it. At least I'm not getting any errors. I need to go back and just rewatch these and just kind of see where that's at. Maybe now would be the right time to do that. I'm going to plop these on for a second. Wow, YouTube and Twitch. Neat. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, hi, Isolt. I use Restream for better or for worse. It seems to be all right now. No, it's not Autobots and Decepticons. It's nanobots and Perceptricons. Let's see. An artificial neuron that does a certain computation to detect features or business intelligence. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm buzzwords. My only weakness. Sounds like a monad to me. All right. Oh, you can't share links. I actually checked. Link blocking is turned off. Oh, it's turned off in comments, but it's still turned on in chat. I need to turn off the link blocking in the chat. Okay. What does a perfect ramen bowl look like? Well, Great Wolf, it is indistinguishable from a dog bowl. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick since you asked. Let me see if Walmart has it on their website now. Okay, dog bowl, ceramic dog bowl. Let's bring this up real quick. This is what a perfect, this is not the one I got. And this is probably, that's 7 inches. I don't know if you want 7 inches, but this is what a perfect one looks like. Like that, or like this, or like this. These are a bit more expensive. I think I got one that was more in this price range. I'll bring it out sometime so you can see. But that's what it looks like. It's straight up and down. That way you don't get too much water collected at the bottom. You do want a little bit of water collected at the bottom. That's kind of thing. I'd actually recommend maybe putting a massage stone down at the bottom and on the top so that there's just a little bit to have a little extra water at the bottom. Because I think one thing with the dog bowl is that it's so flat that you do need a little bit of extra water for it to function perfectly. And so you could maybe take a massage stone or something like that and put it in there. But I put a massage stone on the top so that the ramen won't float up too much. And then as it starts to get soft, it'll sink down. And the stone stays hot too. So, microwave safe and all that. But that's what a perfect ramen bowl looks like, in my opinion. There's some nice ones on Amazon too that look more oriental, look more authentic. Okay. All right, I'm just going to see if I can get, let's see, we got any more comments here? Large plastic ones with red design on the bottoms. You got to use the spoon though. I don't know what you mean by that. Okay. Dang. Yeah, Ryan, we do need to just get butts in gear on some of this stuff. It's been sitting in limbo too long. All right, let me just back up. Let me see if I can get this in. Let's get this in
Created
2x mode or something.
how to install a Dash node the quick and easy way. And so I want to go through that in a more step-by-step fashion and kind of explain exactly what happened and give you a little bit more detail as to why it was necessary to create the script and what the script does. So this here is the repository for the Dash installer script. And like I said, a lot of this applies to Bitcoin and Litecoin and some of the others as well. So
I'm just going to put this over here.
Easy, you copy and paste the script and it goes and installs. I'm going to actually have us look at the script and then go through and explain bit by bit what it's doing. And I'm going to cross-reference that with the blog article that's also here in the repository. So first off, what I'm going to do is create a virtual machine where we can perform the installation. As I go through, I'll talk through it step by step. So I'm going to create a droplet. And I'm actually going to pick the most expensive one, this one with 6 cores and 16 gigs of RAM.
Oh, this one.
The compile steps take a long time. Like if you're using a single core, the Bitcoin compile itself takes about 20 minutes. So I'm just going to call this dash hard dash. And in real time, this will take about 30 seconds or so, and then the IP address that it gives will be usable. So even though the bar completed in about 30 seconds, like I said, I waited another 30 seconds because I found a number of times that when I go to SSH, the device isn't ready yet. The SSH doesn't complete. So here we are. I'm going to hit Command K to clear my screen, and then I'm going to go back to this.
I could have sworn you gave me the
Ubuntu, which is
zip file before at some point.
The script have a few parts that are Debian specific, very few parts. Almost all of this is operating system agnostic. But here, this apt is a Debian thing. Basically, this is just system stuff that I'm starting with here. So I'm going to do, I'm going to update the repository so it has the latest versions of all the packages. I'm going to skip the upgrade step for time's sake. Or actually, I'll go ahead and do that because that's a good thing to do for security and whatnot.
Let's see. Let me see if I can skip ahead a little bit.
So, but the advantage to doing it this way is there's some custom versions that are needed for this because of how old, and some of these I found out by trial and error. Like I had to Google and figure out which one to set. Now next, the standard version for Bitcore, not necessarily the version your operating system would install, and that's why this is being done custom rather than using what's available in the app that work. But you might need special options or certain caveats that come into play, especially if you're using an older data format for like a wallet or something like that, and then you tried to use a different version of the database, like it could become corrupt. So this is just kind of like the standard version for Bitcore, not necessarily the version your operating system would install, and that's why this is being done custom rather than using what's available in the app or YUM, etc. So I downloaded it. I'm unpackaging it. I'm going to go into that directory. Okay. And then I'm going to install it. So the first step is to do configure. This is just common C++ stuff. And I don't remember why I needed to be in the folder build Unix and then run this. I think it's just because...
Okay, so I think the thing that I want to do is I might actually want to get the Insights installer running. I might want to get Insights running. No. Let's go back to that one. I think what I can do at this point, I don't think that my old instructions are going to get me any further. I think that one where I said, hey, this is really good stuff, wherever the heck that went, which is somewhere here still, I think that's what I need to be looking at next. I think dash service is it. I think this was the one. No, was it this one? No, it's not this one. It was one of the next ones. It's coming up pretty close here. Find dash online. Hey, look at that. Dash is going up again. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Oh. Well, someone's feeling confident. That's who I want to buy it from. You know what? Maybe I should go sell them some. Let me put the. Let's see. Can I sell you some Dash? Because I think if that's not a typo there, I think. Oh, is this Indian rupee? Is that INR? Is this maybe getting confused or something? I don't know what this is saying. But is it somehow reading the wrong currency value for that? But yeah, I've got some Dash to sell them. All right, this is the subscribing. Okay, where did I put? Because I saw what I wanted to see, and can somebody go back earlier in the video and tell me where was that one that I was saying, oh yeah, this is it. This is the money. I'll just have to put this into Otter and then find out where I said this is the money. And go back and watch it. Oh, come on. All right, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that or that or that or that or that. or that, or that, or that. Events. It was this one, right? A new transaction has entered the pool. So node.services. So let's see if we can just run this. I'm going to create a little directory here. I'm going to do underserve, go in here, and we'll call this one dash hook. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to npm init -y. And then we're going to do npm install save. Bless me. All right, so I need my RPC password. Services config. Where should this be? The configuration. Does it tell me what the file is? So this is a little bit sad because it has the example of the data. It doesn't tell me where to put it. This is almost great. All right, let me read this slowly. Let's not skip here. Dash service, node interface, dash core, querying information, connect, range, dash D process, optional indexes, addresses box, results cache, several additional APIs. Got it. Configuration should include connect configuration dash D. Yep. Finds JPR, blah, 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 information separately managed dash D process. Yep. Also possible connect separately managed blah, 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 round robin. Yep. Okay. So it says configuration, but it is not clear to me where will that configuration be. Do I go to dash core node? Maybe that's what it is. Dash core node start. Okay, because this seems dash service is a Node.js interface dash core. Dash core is the thing that we are running, right? That's the thing that we got the release for, right? Yep. Okay, good. Well, hello everybody that's joining in. Thanks for joining in. I'm AJ O'Neill. Let them know who you are, what brings you to the channel tonight, and if at any point you find any of this to be entertaining or useful, go ahead and give a thumbs up, a sub, or a follow, or a thumbs down and leave with all of your anger. But don't let it fester inside you. Just spew it out into the chat and stuff, you know. Algo boosting and all that. I don't know why I say dumb stuff like that. I guess it's because I'm still figuring out what this, YouTube Twitch thing is all about and how my real personality and my as seen on TV personality mesh. Okay. Create dash data dir my node. I'm a little confused about this one. GitHub your name hello world. Your dash core node. Okay. Yeah, that's installed. I think I'm missing kind of a high-level overview of something here. Node is extensible. Minimum has an interface. Additional services can be enabled to make Node more useful. Yep. Standalone server. Running this command, it will seek a dash core folder with a dash node. Node JSON. Here we are. Whoa, look at it. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. All right. So I'm going to PR this as well. So that's just kind of a really awkward way to phrase that. Because somebody that's going to be scanning for this information is going to be looking for code, right? So it will seek for boom, that's it. File path. I think this should say in the current directory or the working directory. I don't know if that's true. Well, I'm just going to submit this. And if it's wrong, somebody's going to tell me. Or not, whatever. I want to run prettier on this. All right. And then I think we're going to say see this for an example. I think that's what we want. Docs add config file path and reference example. Again, the worst that can happen is they just ignore it. Make documentation requests early and often. And the best that can happen is that they correct you and then it gets accepted. So the best that can happen is not only do you add information, but they also add information. And the medium case would be that your information is just good enough and they accept it without correction. But I think it's even better if that information really starts to come together. Okay. So I am a little bit confused about this. Okay, I'm kind of getting it. So this is an ecosystem. This is an ecosystem thing. So there could be lots of different modules. That's what I think I'm getting at here. Okay. Okay, I do need to go to bed soon here. But I want to get to the point where we actually can do something, anything. So dash evo dash core node. So wait, we don't want dash evo, do we? No, wait, because this is wrong. The naming is wrong. This is dash core. Ignore the fact that it's in dash evo. It's not dash evo. It's dash core. Okay. Scaffold. Okay. I think this is correct. Okay, good. All right, good. This is great. This is good information over here. So that should be dash save, but whatever. All right. So we're going to make this. Okay, and I think I am going to give it a path. Does they document what the path is for here? Path. They don't document what the path is for. But I'm going to guess that the path ought to be... holy moly. Holy bejeebies. Oh, this is taking a long time. Keep in mind, this is on, what, a 10 gigabit connection here? So when it's taking this long, that means it's downloading the NPM registry. The whole thing. I don't know if I'm going to have enough disk space. We'll see. This takes longer to install than React did 6 months ago. Now React installs a lot faster, though, because they cleaned it up. All sorts of deprecated and security warnings. Most of the ReDOS stuff, though, I don't know. Most of it's not applicable. Some of it is, but most of it's not actually applicable because it's just somebody using a regular expression somewhere. Okay, well, this is unfortunate. All right. 0MQ. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. So with this one, let me go ahead and make sure I grab this. We are going to need to do some of the steps that I was hoping that we wouldn't have to do, which is figure out that 0MQ thing. I was thinking, oh, okay, it's just compiled statically. It's all good. We don't need to worry about it. We're going to be fine. But turns out it's not all rainbows and fairy corns. So setting up the node bits. See also. All right, so what do we do first here? Apt install -y. Let's see, what's the thing that it's actually, okay, not found make. All right, so build essential. That's the first bit that it's complaining about. So we'll go ahead and we'll do build essential. I'm just going to step through this error by error because I don't want to install a whole bunch of stuff like I did before if I can avoid it. Because before I was installing a bunch of things and it ended up working, but I'd rather trim it down a little bit now. If we can. Why is this going so slow? Oh my goodness. Is it because it's using up a lot of network on the blockchain? Let's see what we're up to here. I don't think we're going to be up to much. 4.4 gigs. Yeah, it's going slow as molasses. So I don't know why it's taking so long. New angle of camera, just for the sake of angle of camera. Because I have a button for it. All right, what's up, y'all? Hey, keep me awake for a minute. Tell me a good bedtime story. The purpose of which would obviously be to help me stay awake. I'll tell you a bedtime story. How about that? I'm going to have to bring up the screen again in just a second, but here we go. So this is a little bit fun because you don't see what I'm typing in this particular instance. Oh, wait, can you still see my screen, though? I think you can. A little bit. It's just the edge of it here. See? It adds to the suspense of the moment. This is what we're living right now. That's it. You're trying to stay awake too? Yeah, well, I drank some Focus. And I had my 2 parts water to 1 part caffeine, but yeah. By the way, I was going to say this earlier, and I'm going to say this again in the next stream, but the lesson material I'm really committed to. I really am. But it requires editing, and I need to get my process in place for the channel as a whole, because I think the channel is starting to evolve into something, and I don't quite know what that is. But, we get viewers every stream. We've got good conversation. Things are coming along. And so the priority of having a digital assistant, plus with the other things I'm doing with the meetups, the day job, the side work, I'm just too scatterbrained to handle it all. And even if I'm not being scatterbrained, I just don't have the time. And so the search for a digital assistant, I think, is coming to a close soon. And so I will have someone to help me manage the channel. But in the interim, because that in of itself is yet one more project taking up, even more time, I am going to allow myself to say, this week I am not producing lesson style content. I still don't have that from last week. The Two Hard Things video is still not edited and reposted on the Beyond Code Bootcamp channel with the other things. We got a lot of great clips from different live streams that have not been extracted. And so I think I may produce that video next week, but I'm just going to allow myself this week. It didn't happen. It's Saturday. Well, now it's actually technically it's Sunday. So now it is next week. So last week's video just didn't happen. And one thing that I've learned, hashtag life tips, is that when you're behind on something, you don't keep piling on, oh, I'm behind, I need to catch up, I have to do 2 this week. You simply let it slide, because you can never catch up when you're already running behind. You can never catch up. But you can just start again at a right point and then continue forward. So I'm not going to try to catch up on that missed opportunity. And I don't want to be wishy-washy about this, but I'm figuring things out, so I don't know. I may let another week lapse without doing the lesson style content so that I can focus on more automating the processes that are involved in the channel and delegating the processes that are involved with the channel, so that that I'm relieving myself of the burdens that are the things that are either busy work, or more important, it's not just this busy work, it's the context switching. So I can relieve myself of some of the context switching and the mental worrying, hand that off, and then focus more on higher quality content and making sure that when I'm in the streams, I'm saying whatever keywords I've agreed upon with the editor so that the transcription catches it and we get that pulled out and we get the clips, and, really, because not everybody's going to watch the 4-hour streams, and I don't really want everybody to, but I do want these little nuggets that we have, the little cool pieces of conversation, the fun bits. I want to bring that out, and I want that to be a part of the channel. It's not just live streams. It's the whole enchilada. So anyway, let me see if this is ready for me to do something with yet. Okay, it is. Oh no, do I want to do that? Yeah, I do want to do this again. All right, so this is going to fail again, but it's okay. I'm just, we're putting in the build essential. All right, so this is going to be mkdir, my project. We're going to go into my project, npm init-y. We need to have build essential in there, and this is probably going to die on the 0MQ. We'll see, because now, all right, what is it complaining about now? It's getting further along. I'm expecting that the thing that it's going to be failing on is that it didn't find the header files, that the dev version wasn't there. So I get that. Yeah, spawning unexpected in a file. Huh, that's not what I expected. Oh, zmq.h, no such file or directory. So I think libzmq, which is the development header files, is at version 3. I have no idea how anything with ZMQ could be at version 5 because I don't see anything in the ecosystem called that. So the protocol's at version 3. The header files are at version 3. That makes no sense. The release version is at version 4, and the main package in Ubuntu is version 5. So, blah. But I think this will be fixed. And I also want to see if I can just, I don't think I'm going to shortcut that much time. It's not taking that much time before it gets to this point. So I'll just let that be for now. So here we are, sudo apt install -y lib zmq dev lib3 zmq dev. There we go. So I think that's the one. Let me go ahead and copy that. And actually, I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to do this, because this is how we'll know we have one. We've got to install that right afterwards and see if that works. So here we go. I imagine that this is going to be a little bit of a trial and error process, but it's okay. I want to hone it down from years ago. Like I said, a lot of these things have settled down. They're not as big moving targets anymore. And if we can document the leaner, more reliable process, then we do well. I could create an updated video for this thing too, maybe. You know, condensed video, lesson style material video. It's interesting. Way back then, this is kind of weird. Did I really not have the ability to upload videos longer than 15 minutes on my channel? Was I not verified in 2018? It doesn't seem like that long ago. But I think that's why I broke these down. Or maybe it was just because the general advice of people saying it's better to break things down into multiple videos so that you get more view time, blah, 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 blah. So Great Wolf, what are you up to, man? If you wanna come on over, I've got a nice space heater right here. Could let's see. I wouldn't be able to show you without moving the phone entirely, and I don't want to do that. But we could just kind of, you know, roast some marshmallows over the space heater. Just kind of have some nice bro time together, assuming you're a bro. I imagine a great wolf would be a bro, otherwise it'd be a she-wolf. And Shakira's already taken, so. But it actually, you know, kind of gives you the same general feel. If you're, let's see, can we do this? Yeah, almost, not quite. Oh no, and I hit a button that I didn't mean to hit. Let's see if we can do the hide. Or is it just gonna, oh, almost. There we are. Yeah, well, you can't see. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. It's right here. It's right here. Can we move it this way? It's kind of hot. There we go. I can move it this way. Just kind of. It's black too, so you can't see it against the floor. The floor is a super dark forest green. All right, this is good. It's taking a really long time to install this, so I think that may mean that we have solved that problem and moved on to whatever the next problem will be. Anyway. Yeah, URLs get filtered out of the comments. So I'm gonna go check the channel right now, and we'll try turning off the filter because I think enough people want to post URLs. What I've been doing is referring people to the Discord, which you're welcome to join. I'll go ahead and give you a link right now. But we'll check and see. We'll check and see because the channel tickles the algorithms well enough that the bots like it. But but I don't know if I want to have to deal with them. But I'm going to go back to Creator Studio, and I'm going to go back to Settings, and I'm going to go back to Community. We've got some moderators here and some approved users. Hold potentially inappropriate chat messages for review is turned on. Do I need to go to Live Studio? Advanced settings, basic info, advanced settings, monetization, general, channel, not made for kids, upload defaults, advanced, allow automatic chapters, permissions, community. Okay, it's not in here. Maybe I need to go into Studio, because no, it's not Studio, it's Live Studio. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go live here and see what I see. All right. Oh, hey, this finished. All right. Can we run npm fix and will it work? It probably won't. All right. I want to go live right now. Yeah, sure. Built-in webcam streaming software. Let's go. All right. YouTube says discard changes. Yeah, sure. Why not? I didn't do anything yet, so I guess I'm fine with that. I thought there was a settings in here. Webcam, stream, manage. Manage? Let's go to manage. Manage. This one's streaming right now. Okay, no. Maybe we go to channel. See, there's 3 different places that you have to go to get settings. All right, that fixed nothing. All right, I'm checking the Discord. How am I going to use the Dash Node and Dash Insight install to put together Dash payment system? I don't know. Are you going to use the Dash Insight API? I don't think, yeah, so I'm fine with using insight.dash.org. What I need is webhooks. I think that's why I'm going down this path. Because I don't think the Insight API has webhooks. And, gosh, yeah, I'd have to go back and figure it out. Because Brian and I have talked about this a couple different ways. But, yeah, let me see. What the letter heck? Oh, okay, that's going fine. All right, let me go. Now I'm at my other channel thingy. Let me go to the other settings thingy. And let's go back to, is it advanced settings? Billing, connected apps, privacy, playback and performance, notifications, account. Yeah, I don't know what to do. View advanced settings, default channel, and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Okay. But yeah, I want to figure out how to do all the things. So basically what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to create, and I think there's some stuff in Dash Evo that will work because it's just libraries. It's not dependent on testnet. But I want to be able to create a wallet. I want to show it to, this is the flow. And I should have said this at the intro of the video. I'll reintroduce it at the intro of the next video. But I want to have a flow where I pop up a QR code on the screen. The person can use their app to send money to that QR code. It'll have the thing in the QR code, how much money to send, or as a suggestion. So they'll send the money. Excuse me. And then I need to get the webhook for when the payment completes. So I need to generate that address and then listen for a transaction to that address. And then once that gets confirmed, which I don't know how that happens exactly, then I can say, yeah, I got the money, and then I need to do something else. But I guess what I could do is ostensibly I could have the same private key. I guess I don't really care about the transaction fees that much because they're really low, right? So I guess I could say as soon as I get the money on this address, log it in the database, and then send that money to the other address. So I'll have my public address in the config file for the app, and then when it gets the money, it'll just send it. And if it's able to send the money, and then listen again, and see that the money was sent, then we should be all good. Okay. AJ, you need some sleep. Don't tell me how to live my life, Ma. All right, well, hey, if Insight has a WebSocket interface, yeah, I should have been more clear about what we were continuing, the context of it way back at the beginning. If it has a WebSocket interface, then yeah, I'm totally fine to just skip all of this and go do that. Insight API dash. Actually, no, I don't want WebSockets. I want webhooks. I want webhooks. I don't want WebSocket. Because WebSocket requires that you keep a persistent connection. And that's a bit more fragile than a webhook. A webhook is saying that you're going to get a connection when the thing happens. But it would be an acceptable V1, I think. So yeah, I could say that would be an acceptable V1. I mean, I guess we could say the polling method would be an acceptable V1, but I really just want, I think Ryan and I kind of came to the conclusion that we want to go down the lower level route and just kind of see where that takes us. But I'm open to reevaluating if that's not really the right thing to do. But also, how do we, to protect the server, Insight API has built-in query rate limiter. It can be configured. What? Yeah, I don't know how the whitelist. I think a lot of this stuff, it makes sense to if you're going to go through the trouble of being processing payments, I think it kind of makes sense to have this available not just through the public thing that everybody gets, but have a little bit more control on it. But again, I don't really care that much about it specifically. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and try this. This is the last thing I'm going to do before I take Mom's advice, El Dinaro, and go to bed. All these people caring about my well-being, trying to help me live my best life and not die. Can't live your best life when you're dead, as they say. All right. Okay, what is this one? This is some sort of dash core node.json. Is that what this is? Unexpected token what? Oh, yeah. Services config. I get the sense that this is not the full file that I actually need. I'm getting that sense. Is anybody else getting that sense that maybe I'm barking up half of a tree? Okay, let's take a look at the .-core-.conf. RPC user is dash local 12321 is the password, and we're only listening on the local interface right now. So dash local 321. Is that what it is? Yep, that's what it is. And then RPC port, is that the same? Is that the right one? We don't have RPC port specified, so I'm going to assume that's just the default. I'm also going to assume that if I commented it out, it would work just fine because it's the default. So let's do that. All right, services config. Okay. Ah, what am I doing? Why is I'm hitting the wrong key on my keyboard? I've gone blind. I can't see the keys with my fingers. I'm finger blind now. Hey, here's a question I got. When you're really tired, or you're just kind of out of it for some other reason, do you ever have the sensation that a radio show or a TV show is going on in your head and you start just kind of making up a whose line is it anyway kind of? Is that just, yeah, forget I said anything. Discord message about the insight. This is the Explorer one, right? I'm not sure if I'm missing something. This is the link that we're talking about. This is the public insights thing. But I don't think this has a WebSocket. I think in order to get the WebSocket, there is a WebSocket bit. And I think that was the one that I just had open. Where did it go? Right here. Okay, so I need this now. I'm going to put this in here. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. And then I'm going to copy and paste this in here. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Gosh, I'm glad that it's so much easier now than it was back in yesterday. I meant days of yore. But I was going to say yester rather than yore because I was going to try to be clever and say the thing that most people don't say, but then I just screwed it up. I just screwed it up royally. I end up saying the same thing. Worse. It's just so disappointing. All right. All right. Yeah. My brain muscle is getting stretched here. Okay. So we got the index, node, tx, console.log, tx data. Kind of confused about what that is. We'll go with it. tx data, sure. And then I remember doing this. I have such the vaguest recollection of doing this. I'm getting so daggone old. I wonder, does this mean, was this supposed to be dash D or was this supposed to be dash core? Because I think that something is wrong in this example because dash D was not defined in the example. And I don't know that dash D was defined anywhere above or below the example. Okay, but we're going to go with that one for now. Let's go take a peek over here. Yeah, all right, let's leave that alone. Let's take a peek over here. Nope, this is not going to be the right one. Blocks and transactions. Address, unspent outputs, view balances, events. Node.services.-d.tx. -d services expose 2 events via the bus, and there are a few events that can be registered directly. A new transaction has entered the mempool. So I think I could be wrong here. I don't really know how to... Let's just run this and see what happens. I think that these are different names for the same thing. I think that the one example in the README is just out of date and just needs to be fixed. So that's what I think is happening. Gosh, this thing is slow. Why is it so slow? Gersh. TX buff. Okay, I think that this is the TCP or UDP layer data, just the raw data, the buffer. And then I think what's happening here is this is how we parse it. So I'm going to guess, if I were a betting man, that I wouldn't be a betting man and I'd do different guesses. -d.on. Yeah, I think I see what's going on here. So this should fail fairly gracefully. Let's try this out. 1, 2, 3, good. Reading index of, that's not what I was expecting actually. That's because I put the wrong thing in here. So let's do mount volumes dash core. I think all of that needs to be here. So let's do, so we're going to bring in my favorite npm module.env, which I'm gonna get a version of this that's got a couple of the patches that the author won't accept. But when is the question? Okay, .env. I'm gonna say dash dir equals, I don't know if that's the right way to say this, but we're gonna go with that for now. So there's the dash dir. Boop. And then what? Require .env.config. And this is how I do it. Path .env. And then I always put the other one for the sake of the stream .secret. I don't have any secrets yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and put that there because I'm sure that I will soon. And so then we're going to do process.env.path, and then we're going to do for this one path.resolve process.env.config. The reason I'm doing resolve is because require is relative, but that's not relative. Whatever. And then get rid of it. So weird. So weird. That was a let there. I didn't even change that other one. That was just already a let. Let path equals required path. I'll check comments in just a second. No, that's not how we do that. This is not how we do it. All right, and then what is it? Dash, that was dash path, sorry. And then we want dash, what was this thing? Dash config equals dash core node JSON dash core node JSON. All right. Dash core node JSON. I know that that's working the way it's supposed to be working. Services config. I'm not 100% clear that it is working the way it's supposed to be working. That seems reasonable. Okay, let's go ahead and run it again. Let me go check comments now. Sister 19 lol online. Yeah, we don't need any 14-year-olds pretending to be 19-year-olds in the chat. Thank you. Oh no. Did I click the wrong button? I did. Let's see. What messages are we talking about? Responded in the Discord. I saw a message in the Discord. I saw a message in the Discord. In the general channel? Or we got something else going somewhere else? One chats. Chats where? I mean, I've only got 6 million Discord things. Could you be a little bit more specific? I see a great wolf. Watched your debate. Oh, one time. Okay, now I'm seeing one time. Yeah, I do. I need sleep. All right. All right, moms. Thank you, moms. I appreciate it. I get it. I'm not functioning at the highest level right now. But no, I don't see any Discord messages for any one time. So let me just hit refresh on Discord. I don't know, but where would I be looking? What channel? Am I looking at the Beyond Code channel? Am I looking at one of the Dash channels? Because goodness knows, we only need 15 of those. All right, what was this one going on about? Full config services index of address. I think that this is not doing what I was hoping it would do. We have this issue with the config. Data dir includes address and DB service having the data dir, root of the config. Service config -d spawn yada yada yada. Full path. All right. Options.config. Service path. The local path for requiring services. Okay, I'm going to go with maybe I did that wrong. Maybe that does need to be an empty string. I think that's what it's asking is for a services path. So let's say that, yeah, that is empty string. Let's try again. All right. In the general dash Discord channel. Okay, let me go over to the general dash Discord channel. Because okay. Okay, now I see this thing over here. Live now. Code Geeks is Saturday night. Yep, hour and a half into AJ stream. This dude is a bash master. Yeah. I didn't say bash master, or maybe I probably said that too. I said he is an Olympian god of bash. It was a little bit higher compliment. Well, it was also a play on the Zeus thing. Okay. Listen to the whole video. Interesting debate. Okay, there's probably some sort of thread going on here. I don't know. Thanks for the reminder. AJ's a local friend. We got a bunch of brain emojis and lots of just at one times reacting with all the things and with this is the way. Yeah. Okay. He's a major skeptic in general, but also very open-minded. He'll come around because we have good arguments. This is the way. Yes. All right. Okay. So I don't know, at me or something so I can see what message y'all are talking about. Full config services.indexof. So I think the reason that this is upset is because services does not exist. And I think the reason services does not exist is because I did not provide it because I don't know what that is, because I am looking at an example here that is limited in the scope of what it provides. I see services config, which maybe this should be services, not services config. I don't know. Maybe it should be config and then services. I don't know. I don't really understand what's going on with this message here. I'm gonna grep for services config and see what we get. There's a lot of things called services config, which leads me to believe that there is a services config. All right. And I probably there's probably another example here that I just glanced over. Detailed example. There we go. And it doesn't exist. Of course not. Why would it? Why would it? Okay. I'm going to go with broken link for 600. Copy link address. All right. Broken link in README for example config, example JSON config file. Ba-da-doop-a-doop. Oh, Let's copy this whole thing. This is probably easy to fix. It's probably not a big deal. I'm just going to place it there for now. Well, that's kind of weird. Oops, that was wrong. I'm not doing what I should do, which is actually check to make sure that nobody else is reporting these things yet. I can probably find this. Docs services are reg test cluster. Let's just try this. Docs services. It's not there. Web service, ports, HTTP options, services. Maybe services just needs to say what it is that we want. I don't care about the web service. I want -d. So maybe I just need to put in this config file here. Maybe I just need to have a services like this, and I just put -d. All right, and node index.js. All right, let me go check over here. What we got? We're talking about a message. Never mind, wires got crossed. Lol 404. PNF 404. Message you just read is a reply to my message, which you can see if you click the one-line message above Ryan's. That's too many. Y'all are telling me to go to bed, and then you write a confusing sentence like that? Make up your mind. Okay, cool. This is the error that I was expecting to get. All right, so let's go over here. All right, we're going to update this example as well. So we're going to go into, oh, I bet this reg test one, cluster. All right, this is a more complete example. All right, this is where it moved. I'm gonna bet dollars to Doug Nuts. This is confusing to me. Did the services config change what the shape of the data looks like? Is the shape of the data no longer the same? Or is it a migration path? Did it used to be called services config, but now it's an array of services, but sometimes it gets upgraded and sometimes it doesn't? Perhaps this refers to, and then for those of y'all that need to hone your markdown skills, I always put the brackets, the angle brackets on the beginning and the end, because a question mark is, of course, a valid character for a URL. And so if you don't want it to be subsumed into the URL, you put the brackets. There we go. All right. So I don't know if that's correct, but we have a definite discrepancy here, but we also have something that seems to be working. So I'm going to reference this. We got one more issue to pull up on this thingy-mabobby, which is we're going to go into docs. We're going to go into services. We're going to go to -d. And I'm going to put in here so that this. Now, what layer did this need to be at in order to not get angry? And it just needs to be, I'm going to put it up at the top here. I think services, boop, -d. That's kind of apropos here. And then let's just go ahead and fill this out, And then I'm going to label this JSON 5 since we're not actually running anything on it anyway. And then I'm just going to put ... See? This is good enough. No, we don't even need it. We don't even... This indicates that there's more. I don't know what the more is, but this indicates that there's more. Now, I'm gonna PR this as well. All right, so we're gonna do docs include required services option. This is docs for what? what is this docs for? It's docs for services dash D. Right, there we go. Okay. All right. I'm not sure if this is the most up-to-date preferred style. This example seems to suggest that it would be just as well, or perhaps better, to nest the config for the service in the services array. Then this one would be, services name dash D. And then let me go check and see what it looked like. Blip, 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 blip. Sorry, I should put this over here so we can all see it, experience it together. Config. All right. For you young players sitting at home, JSON 5 is kind of a thing. It's not really a thing, but it's kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we got that. That's good enough. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that one. Hold on. All right. All right. There we go. This seems to suggest that service config is deprecated. All right. So I'm going to do that. All right, cool. That's good. All right, I'll check comments in just a second. I think I know what I need to do. Oh, we've also got another example that I pulled this from that needs to be updated. I think that was in the main README. Okay, so this one right here, I'm pretty sure that that's just a typo, and it's actually supposed to be node.services.-d.on, which I'm going to go fix that too, and hopefully somebody is smart enough to know that if they want to shorthand it with a variable, they can. But I don't know if they can, because it might depend on thisness, because this looks kind of, I hesitate to use the word because of the connotation. Class-oriented. There we go. That's the word I want to use. Bum, 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 bum. I'd actually put this here, because you got two different things that are going on. So this comment is describing that ready fires means that dash core has started, which I think is self-evident. So I don't know that comment is really necessary, but putting it directly on top of this would seem to suggest that this does what the comment is suggesting. I think that this would actually be much better. I'm going to go ahead and do this. In fact, I'm just going to put this here. I think that's more clear. The comment is actually confusing because you would think the comment applies to the code that directly follows it, not to the code that directly precedes it. So I think as far as being communicative, I think this is the right way to go about it. And it would be nice to just have what the shape of this data is. I don't know what it is yet. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there. And we also are now up to about 50 gigabytes of space. Yeah. And we need 2 for testnet or something. Technically that should maybe go in a different commit, but this is docs. What is it? I don't know. Update example and requirements. Fix example and update requirements. Fix code example? Road example. There we go. Code example. All right. Okay, so now I'm not 100% sure that that's right, but I'm pretty sure these things are the same thing. And that one right there is going to be the one that I want. So let's see if some transactions come through. How many transactions are coming through? Am I going to be able to see something? All right. Connection delay, connection delay, connection delay. So this is starting to make me think that maybe the ZMQ did not actually load. So it's not able to connect to ZMQ on that port. So this means that something is missing, I think. But I don't really know. Is this conditional dynamic loading where it's going to try to load a library, but the library doesn't exist? It's just going to be like, meh, whatever. I'm thinking that might be what happens, but I want to get specific with this. I don't just want to assume that and move on. I'm trying to think what the best way to do that is. Let me check some comments, and then I'm going to brush my teeth and go to bed. Do your chores. Clean your room. Stand up straight. You're grounded. You really are my mom. That's pretty much all she ever said to me was, you're grounded. Oh, I think I heard that. I'm not going to go into it. It's past trauma. Would be all right. Just remember, XKNIFT. If you watch the stream, watch it on 2x. All right. Well, this was fun, y'all. There's no such thing as an uneffable way. Wait, effable is actually a word, and that doesn't mean that same thing. Well, that's what you get for using a potty mouth. Ambiguity. Precision of language, Jonas. Where are we at? 3.5? We're at 3.5. I think we call it. Yeah, we need to call it. It's past 2. I've had a rough week. Haven't got enough sleep. Even when I've gotten enough sleep, it's not been the right kind of restful sleep that really rejuvenates the body. So I'm going to call it, y'all. Thumbs up if you got them. Thumbs down if you don't. Like and sub if you want to. Share with a friend that you don't like. A frenemy if you don't. I'm going to give maybe another 30 seconds for any final comments. Not related to how to live my life, but related to, particularly related to what the repercussions of me skipping installing something with 0MQ. I don't know what it is that I didn't install. Well, I know I didn't install the library, but the question that I have is, is this one of those things where we'll optionally load the shared libraries that exist, but fail to load them without error? And where was that little greppy do? Grep. Warn. Connection delay. Yep, exactly. Connection refused. Yep. I don't know where this config.log went, but it doesn't appear to exist anymore. And I would assume that the official built version released from GitHub would have that enabled, which makes me, one thing I want to test for is between the two config files, was I consistent? So I want to check that one last thing. All right, in this config file, I set ZMQ stuff to 28332, which who knows why you pick one port versus the other. I don't know if there was a standard port for this or how that was going. Okay, and then let's say in here, what am I picking? That looks more like a standard port to me. Is there a standard port for ZMQ? So what if I just put that in there? Let's just try this one more time. And then I'm out, y'all. I'm out. I'm out like a light. Okay, cool. That worked. Sweet. Hey, props on making the install process so much simpler. Wouldn't hurt to update the documentation. But I'm glad that I didn't go through that whole process of trying to figure out how to compile everything by hand and, do all that stuff that I do last time. I'm glad that the ecosystem has matured. Oh no, TX data is not defined, but that's probably because I didn't define it. It's just like that Madonna song. Feel like a noob again. Is that how it goes? I think she says that. Pretty sure that's how it goes. Da, 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 da. So, Austin Powers is pretty much a remake of Casino Royale. Casino Royale, the new one, is not at all a remake of the original Casino Royale. But Austin Powers is almost in perfect parity with Casino Royale. I'm afraid to watch that again. It's probably so terrible. Hey, look, this is great. Okay, I don't know that I wanted it that way. Let's see if we can cancel this. Oh, we're looking at people's money, people spending money. Can we break? Can we break? Can we break? I'm gonna have to kill all node. I didn't want to do it, but it's time to do it. All right, this was successful. We ended up with documentation, kind of in an issue. I'm not ready to go through it and put it all together yet. I don't want that anymore. Let's get rid of that. I just want this. We ended up with a working product. I have it on a backup droplet, so if something goes wrong between, and I never have problems with DigitalOcean, but if something did go wrong, we got this thing on a backup system. I'll get some code. Well, really, we don't need to push any code. We just need to update the documentation. All right, that's a bit much. That is a bit much. All right, outputs, script buffer. We need to do something. I'm guessing if we called to JSON on this, we'd get better results. Let me check that out real quick. All right, again, this is the real last thing, y'all. The real last thing. Let's call json.stringify, and my hope is that when json.stringify is called, my hope would actually be that this has a toJSON method, but I don't know where we'd check that because that'd probably be behind some non-enumerable class property or some such, exactly where it doesn't belong. But my hope is that we don't get a circular reference error, but it just filters out the nonsense that we don't actually care about. That's part of the class hierarchy nonsense. Okay. I'm grounded. Do the ladies describe you as effable? I am ineffable. I don't need the ladies to describe me as anything. I have a wife, and that's all I need. Just one. All right, so this is going through like cray-cray. I'm guessing this is because the download is actually happening right now, and my guess is that it's My guess is that it's going crazy because it is receiving the entire blockchain. What are we up to, by the way? What are we up to? Let's see. What is going on? Come on. There we go. We are up to 11 gigabytes. So let it run another about as long. We should be good. Okay. What is going on? Oh, it's just freaking out because the the buffer. The buffer is so big that when it goes to switch, it's struggling. That's what it is. Okay, cool. All right, so this is just a bunch of stuff. All right, inputs. And so we're going to be looking for, what are we looking for? I could use a little bit of help in this. Is that when we're looking at a transaction, how do we know what address, which of these is the address? Which of these is the QR code wallet that it's being deposited into? Is that script? Is that what that's called? That seems a weird thing to call it. If I just redid that as base 64, would that be the right thing? Hold on, I'm going to look at my address real quick. My address is, I think I got a little notes to self channel for myself. My address. So let's see. I think that might be it. I think if we just convert this from hex to base 64, is that the address? Is that what that is? So it's saying we're going to send this amount to this address and this amount to this address. All right. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, so I'm just going to make a little note on that so that my brain that's broken right now doesn't forget it or whatever or something. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a couple things here. TX, we're just gonna take the whole TX. I want to do that one. This is how it's gonna go. Something or other. Can't think clearly. Might be late. Who knows? Whatever. Thing. It's all right. Yeah. But I actually find this amusing. I can't come up with coherent thought to speech. Well, there's this whole concept of the two brains. Let me finish my thought before I go into my sub-thought. How is it that I'm able to do anything meaningful if I can't even put thoughts together in tongue form? How does that work? But the other thing is that there's the two brains, and the language center of the brain and the other center of the brain, they're in different places and they do different things. And so it may be that the part of my brain that is controlling language is the parts the most impacted by my current state. But the other part of my brain that's doing some other stuff or something that's connected to how my fingers are able to type, it's doing its thing. Get what I'm saying? I have to look into that. All right. But this time, for reals, now I'm really, really out. It's not even base 58. What? Bitcoin script opcodes? Oh no. That sounds terrible. But wait, wouldn't you have that as part of the... Wouldn't you have that as part of your library? I mean, that seems like the kind of thing that you want to have is the library, right? In the library, you'd want to have, because that seems like what the whole daggone function ought to be. But then again, hold on, let's scroll a little bit further back. All right, we may need to be a little more generous, or not. All right, here I go. One more last thing. Y'all dragging me into it. You're grounded. Now go take out the trash and play with your friends. What? Yeah, you're grounded. Go have a good time. What? See, you tell me to go to sleep, but then you entice me further. Or I entice myself. I don't remember how that happened. Okay, so let's look at this. Too many things going by. Kill all. Alright. Okay, script buffer. Satoshi's. Outputs. Satoshi BN. Oh, it'd be Big Num. Big Num? 6, 1, half a dozen of the other. Script buffer. I don't know what that means. Opcodes. Yeah, I don't see anything else in here that looks right. So how do we turn that into an address? Hmm? Who's got that for me? Doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because it is Betty Bye. All right. All you people on the other side of the world that are lucid, I'm not. I don't have to pee nearly as badly as I should for having drank that whole bottle so quickly, which means that I'm also severely dehydrated. Did you know that you can get a hangover from dehydration? That's what it really is. You don't have to drink alcohol, just sugar and lack of water. Good to go. Pound the Mountain Dew. You can do it. All right. My guess is that's just the output from the RPC. Well, I don't know what that means. I recognize the numbers from those script opcodes. If you decode it, it's the standard op dupe, op hash, adder, op check sig. I believe the inside API decodes it and puts it in the address in the JSON response. Well, if the inside API decodes it, and the inside API is built with the Dash Core libraries, then the Dash Core libraries have a function to decode it. Now, I could probably decode it myself, but that would be dumb of me to do and not necessary because somebody else has done that. And they've done it well, presumably, or at least exactly. So, yeah. If you wouldn't mind helping me out with that before, say, Monday or something. I don't know. I gotta go. I can't speech anymore. All right. So, again, thumbs up if you got them, thumbs down if you don't. Share with a friend if you liked it. Share with a friend of me if you didn't. Adios. Oh, no, that's not the one I meant to hit. Oh, let me try that again. Adios.